process was. I just felt we were in the right hands from day one, you know?
Selling your home can be stressful, but REA makes it easy with no hassle and great prices. To arrange a valuation with your local agent, visit rea.ie. REA, we move people, not just property.
Customer has received a gratuity for their time.
The Irish Passport Service is facing unprecedented demand. We are currently issuing over 6,000 passports every day. So if you're planning on travelling this summer, please check that your passport is in date before you book. If it isn't, check online to make sure you have all the documents you will need, whether it's for a first-time application or a renewal. Remember, applying online is 4 times faster than a paper application. For more information, check dfa.ie/passport help. Brought to you by the Government of Ireland.
The big sale at the Harvey Norman flagship store in Tala continues, with big savings on SIM-free phones and our best prices guaranteed. Get the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 smartphone with seamless touchscreen display and pro-fast charging, now €199, save €30. Or get the pre-owned Mint Plus iPhone 8, now €239, save €30. Visit us at the Harvey Norman flagship store on the corner of Ayton and Green Hills Road, Tala. Don't miss out.
Go!
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of our women's national football team. Out-believe together, and we can go anywhere.
Yeah, you're welcome, Max. So Ireland's away to Ukraine this evening in Poland. Should be an interesting evening. Caoimhin Kelleher is in goal. Dara O'Shea, Darragh Lenihan, Nathan Collins, and we can lose the music, lads. Alan Brown, James McLean will be wing backs. Josh Cullen, Malumbi, Jason Knight, Troy Parrott and Scott Hogan are up front. Vinny Perth will be on commentary for us. Evening, Vinny.
Evening, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, very well. So Stephen Kenny, by necessity here, has had to make several changes. He most certainly, though, has kept with the same shape that was successful and did work against Scotland. In particular, Cullen, Malumbi, Knight, that trio.
Yeah, really exciting midfield three. I was at the game the other day and really impressed with Malumbi in particular. He gave us huge energy, and probably what was disappointing most about the previous games was the lack of energy around the team, the running power, and I thought Malumbi was so tigerish. He really got around the place and gave us something a little bit different, and really impressed with him live. He was excellent on the day, and it made a huge difference. That's like tactical change. I used to be afraid to bring up tactical stuff on radio because you'd bore the tear out of people, but everyone seems to be talking about it now, which is fascinating. We're in that war now.
Against Ukraine, we didn't seem to put them under any real pressure when they were in possession, or certainly if we tried, it didn't manifest as much. No,
and again, I think that was tactical. We've got to call it as it is. It was a tactical error. I think it was whether we played 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3, who knows, but it was something in between them, and it meant that Ukraine just dominated us in midfield. So that tactical change of 3-5-2 with the midfield three, you would like to think is designed around rectifying the errors of the previous two games before that. So that's the idea behind it. I think people have spoken a lot about it, but it's effectively don't like using numbers too much, but the six as in the sit midfielder, 6-8-10, and that sort of 1-1-1 almost formation in midfield, and with Jason Knight obviously giving us huge running power as well.
Scott Hogan is alongside Troy Parrott up front. What does he bring to the party?
He was really unlucky not to score the other day, and he came on and was impressive. I think he's about 10 goals in the championship last year, so he's operating at a decent level in the championship. I think his heading ability, and when we put crosses into the box, he'll give us that. Can he run in behind? I'm not so sure. So that would be a little bit of concern. I think we need someone running behind. We've seen Troy Parrott's movement the other day was brilliant in behind, particularly for the goal. So that would be a concern. We lack a little bit of pace, but we probably won't have as much of the ball today as we did in some of the previous games.
So realistically, going back to that point about energy and putting Ukraine under pressure, or not putting them under much pressure, it felt like at the Aviva Stadium, presumably the home side will have a lot of the ball this evening. Therefore, Ireland can't press relentlessly or be high energy relentlessly for 90 minutes. So there will presumably be periods in this game where they're dropping into, Stephen Kenny might be low to call it a low block, but in effect it won't be far off it.
Yeah, it will be. Like, what you do as a coach is, particularly when you know you're not going to have a lot of the ball, or you know the team is going to dominate you, you create in training sessions just little traps where there'll be a trigger point. Once again, they'll probably have identified one of the back four of Ukraine or midfield, and once he gets the ball, then they'll all have movements off that. So, and that's where, to be fair to the team, there's a lot of energy in it. Even I think it's worth mentioning Alan Brown, sort of energy he gave us over Seamus Coleman was huge the other day, and I think there's a bit of a lesson that, unfortunately, for Seamus.
Back three are going to have to get to grips with each other pretty quickly this evening. Darragh Lenihan, Dara O'Shea and Nathan Collins is the sole survivor.
Yeah, I was just watching him there in the warm-up, so it looks like O'Shea will play off the left, Nathan Collins central, and Darragh Lenihan to the right of the back three. Yeah, look, it's usually inexperienced, but I think Dara O'Shea could be the best of a lot of these young centre-halves coming through. I'm really excited by him. Obviously, he picked up that really nasty injury, but it looks like it's another position where we're spoiled for choice a little bit. But again, look, it's the age profile of this team is really phenomenal to watch it. And if you take a step back from all the noise around different results, the age profile of these players coming through, we seem to not forgot about him, but we haven't really mentioned Oma Bamadele at Norwich. You know, he's been injured for a while, so there's a lot of strength and depth in this Irish squad. Challenge is, can we find someone who takes us to the next level, and that'd be the key to it.
Vinny, on 3 occasions against Scotland in the first 26 minutes, Ireland gifted Scotland big chances close to goal in trying to play it from the back. What do you suspect Kenny, Keith Andrews, the team will say about that over the last couple of days?
Yeah, it was in particular probably Shane Duffy a couple of times anyway with misplaced passes, and I'm not sure we want Shane on that. Look, it's I think a lot of players have made this error. I don't know whether you remember, but we changed the rules in football where you had to be outside of the box, and I think that hasn't helped certain teams. It suits the likes of Man Cities of this world, Liverpool and etc. But difficult one to explain to you, but if you remember, players used to stand the width of the box, centre halves, and full backs would be another maybe 10-15 yards on. So keepers have lost the art of that pass where you chip it to the right back or the left back, but because two are allowed in the box, it's so much easier for opposition to press you. I think that's an error. That was something really visible to me the other day, and I think it's something they have to learn from. And when we don't have exceptional footballers like Duffy on the ball, we've got to be clever than that, because, I mean, look, Scotland I felt were really poor on the day, and that's to take nothing away from Ireland, but on another occasion we could have been one down, maybe two, and that changes the whole complex of what happened the other day.
Just a last point, it's worth restating again, for Ukraine to be playing so close to home, and obviously a huge number of people have fled the country and ended up in Poland. This will be a very emotional occasion for them. This is not a flat team like Scotland were coming to Dublin down in the mouth. This is going to be a big night for them. Zinchenko's there, Yarmolenko's there. This is going to be difficult tonight. What are you expecting?
To be honest, I'm expecting a really difficult night for Ireland, and sometimes that's when they do quite well, to be fair. Difficult night. It's not a huge crowd here yet. It's starting to build. I was expecting more people because, again, it's in Poland, but it's going to be a really difficult night for us. They're going as strong as they can, I feel, and they dominate the ball so well. And again, we've seen the emotional side around them. It's probably worked in some occasions and not worked in others, but I expect a really difficult night for Ireland tonight. And Ukraine, they look exceptional. They do, yeah. You know.
Vinny, great stuff. We will pause for a moment. We have live commentary with Stephen Doyle and Vinny Perth coming your way here in the show. 7:45 kickoff. Just to mention as well, we are on the road again at the Silk and Thomas, Kildare Town, on June 21st, looking ahead to the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby Festival at the Curragh Racecourse. Chatting to some Irish Derby legends, Mick Kinane, Johnny Murtagh, Shamie Heffernan as well, for an in-depth Irish Derby discussion and analysis. So if you're interested in your racing and the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby Festival at the Curragh, then you can check out otbsports.com/events to register. Short break, kick off with Stephen Doyle and Vinny Perth next.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, all the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
Alive and Kicking with Claire McKenna.
This week on the Alive and Kicking podcast, Mark Dignam on living with MND, Caroline DaCosta on becoming the first woman to become a professor of obstetrics and gynecology in Australia, and she trained in Dublin first. And ahead of the listener event this weekend, we'll be finding out more about anti-gravity yoga and sound bath meditation.
Alive and Kicking
with Yakult. Subscribe to the Alive and Kicking podcast at newstalk.com or at the Newstalk app powered by GoLoud.
Rory here from Elephant Self Storage. Do you need a spare room? Moving house, renovating, cramped apartment, baby on the way, fed up with clutter? Well, we have rooms to let today. Spotless, private, secure, bright and easy to use. Book now from €10 a week and stay as long as you like. Sensible terms apply and, sorry, you can't sleep here. Storerooms to let at elephant.ie or 494 0000.
Like many businesses, at Skoda, we've experienced some supply chain challenges. To those who've waited for their new Octavia, Kodiaq or Enyaq to arrive, thank you for your patience. And for those considering a new Skoda with no time to wait, don't worry. See what models are available now with no delay using our online Skoda stock locator. Visit skoda.ie or your local Skoda dealer. Skoda. Simply clever.
We've all been there. Politicians, pop stars, even our pals.
Saying, tweeting and doing dodgy stuff. Just generally failing to read the room.
Read the room? Jesus, that's a great name for a podcast.
Join me, Maya Dunphy, and my pal Paddy Courtney every Wednesday as we pull apart the people, the scenarios and situations where people have failed to read the room.
Does the world really need another podcast, Maya?
People are crying out for it.
Okay, let's do it then. Let's read the room.
Find us first on the Go Loud player or wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the Go Loud app.
Coming soon, a sci-fi sequel that's driving critics wild.
I'm back, Mary. It's time to celebrate.
Time is the one thing we can't afford, John.
You're wrong, Mary. With M50 video tolling, I can save time, money, and pay me tolls automatically.
This is the greatest story ever told. Time Saver 2, out now. Perfect for occasional M50 road users. No fees associated with this account. Sign up at eflow.ie. Tolling is a vital source of funding for the operation and maintenance of our national roads network.
It's over.
Go, don't look back. Go get your life back on track. Though there's hurt, though there's pain, this car can't compete with the train. I drove you away, I wasted your time. You told me we've gone to the end of the line.
Break up with your car. Love 20% off fares with Iarn Road Éireann.
And Sean's nipped into the bar for a quick chat with the work crowd. He won't stop. He has a match in the morning. But wait, a nod from the barman. There's Guinness 0-0 on tap. The chats are back on. Sean is in full swing and a fresh pint is handed over the bar. Guinness 0-0, 100% Guinness, 0% alcohol. Proud partner of Croke Park Stadium and proud partner of the GAA.
Visit drinkaware.ie.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of our women's national football team. Out-believe together and we can go anywhere.
Well, it's a very good evening to you. It's Ukraine versus the Republic of Ireland live in Nations League Group B1. Stephen Doyle here alongside Vinny Perth. And the match is being played at the... It's the Wisla Łódź Stadium, I should say, in Łódź in Poland. Of course, this is the stadium that Ukraine are using, obviously not being able to play their home matches in their homeland due to the ongoing war the ongoing Russian invasion, I should say, in Ukraine. The stadium holds about 18,000 people, and we're just waiting for it to fill up a little more. Looks like a scattering of about 700 Irish supporters, we're told, off to our left-hand side. Ukraine, of course, looking to continue their 100% record in UEFA Nations League Group 1 B1 as they face the Republic of Ireland on neutral soil. The blue and yellow, of course, relegated to the second tier of the competition last year, have won their opening 2 games to help ease the pain of missing out on a place at the World Cup later this year. The two countries, of course, met for the first time just last week, with Viktor Tsigankov's goal enough to earn Alexander Petrakov's side that win. That was followed by a 3-0 hammering of Armenia, meaning Ukraine have lost just once in 11 outings since Euro 2020. Ireland are 20 places behind Ukraine in the FIFA rankings, and they are looking to back up that brilliant 3-0 victory over Scotland at the Aviva Stadium last Saturday. They are, however, hit by a number of absentees, of course, with Shane Duffy suspended. John Egan out for family reasons. He is expecting the birth of his child with his partner, and Michael Obafemi is also injured. Despite that, the boys in green have a pretty poor record in the Nations League, of course, before that win against Scotland, which ended a 12-match winless streak in the competition. So we're just watching the two sides out on the pitch at Łódź, and it is the Ukraine team going into a huddle. They're wearing their all-change blue strip, blue shorts and blue socks, and the Irish side are wearing the change kit of orange shirts and black shorts and orange socks for this match. It is, of course, the fourth round of matches in Group B1, and Ireland looking to get their second win on the board and hopefully see out this international window with 6 points in the Nations League. It is Ireland have won the toss and chosen to kick off for this first half, and standing over the ball in the centre circle is Jason Malumbi. The referee has blown his whistle. Players are taking the knee, of course, in the stand against racism, and that is well received around the pitch. And then Jason Malumbi went to kick off, but before the referee had given his official whistle there, but he has done that now, and the match is underway. Ireland playing from left to right as we look out on the pitch here, and Ukraine, of course, as I said, in that all blue kit, playing from right to left. I'll just give you a run through both sides. For Ireland, it is a back three of Collins, flanked by Lenihan and O'Shea. O'Shea looks to be playing on the left, Lenihan on the right. Lenihan, of course, making his competitive debut for Ireland, and O'Shea returning for his first competitive match since that World Cup qualifier against Portugal last September. They're playing in front of Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. It's McLean as the left wing back, Brown right wing back, and midfield three of Colin Malumbi and Jason Knight, with Troy Parrott, of course, fresh from that goal scoring outing against Scotland at the weekend, playing alongside Birmingham striker Scott Hogan, playing his first competitive start under the manager Stephen Kenny. Ireland in possession here at the moment. It's Brown across there, and it's headed towards goal, and in fact I think Scott Hogan was claiming it came off a Ukraine player for a corner kick, and I think the referee might be disagreeing with him there and giving the goal kick to the home team. So I'll just give you a run through the Ukraine side. It is Riznik in goal, making his competitive debut, I should say, and he is going to have to deal with a corner kick. In fact, the referee overruling his assistant there. We'll give you the details of the Ukraine team in just a moment. All the big Irish players up in the box. The corner kick played back to Jason Knight, and then it's swung in, and it's to the goalkeeper Riznik, who got up to catch that ball, but he fumbled it in the air. The header was from Nathan Collins, and luckily for the goalkeeper, the cross coming in there from Alan Brown, he just managed to hold that ball over the line. It bounced a couple of times. He managed to gather it just before an Irish player could get in there and try and strive for goal. But I did say to Joe before this match, Vinny Perth, that the goalkeeper, well, it might be worth testing him out because he is quite inexperienced.
Yeah, a good start by Ireland. First couple of minutes, win the corner. Three young lads going up for the corner, putting Ukraine under a bit of pressure, and the goalkeeper, as you said, looked like a free out, to be fair. But Ireland have started, as we said, 3-5-2. Jason Knight doing that job we spoke about during the week, and Ukraine played their typical 4-3-3 system, and will look to keep the ball for long periods of time. So a real test for Ireland tonight. Got to dig in at times, and just be patient, stay in the game for as long as they can. Ukraine and the crowd are up for it tonight, I would feel.
It is Riznik in goal for Ukraine, and he's playing behind a back four of Karavayev a right back, Zabarny as centre back alongside Matvienko, with the Everton left back Mikalenko playing. It's Malinovsky, Sidorchuk and Zinchenko as the midfield three, with Yarmolenko, Dovbyk and Shaporenko as the attacking trio. It is Matvienko on the ball now. He plays out right to Shaporenko. Shaporenko trying to get forward there, but he's tackled, and it was by Jason Malumbi. The ball sent forward by Darrell Shea. Scott Hogan trying to battle there with the Ukraine player to win back possession. He does, gets it back to Josh Cullen on the halfway line, and he passes all the way back to Darrell Lenihan. Darrell Lenihan on the right side of Collins in the back three, Darrell Shea over on the left hand side. It's a long ball forward by Caoimhín Kelleher. Jason Malumbi's trying to get this. He was beaten in the air at first, but he gets the ball back from Darragh Lenihan, who's now back in possession, and he passes back to Caoimhín Kelleher.
A good start by Malumbi there, winning the ball back for Ireland and not afraid to go long, and that's why Scott Hogan will help the team decent in the air and will put Ukraine under a little bit of pressure with those long balls. So good start. Malumbi was excellent against Scotland the other day, and he's really started on the front foot again for Ireland.
Yes, Jason Malumbi, the man from Cappoquin, back in the Irish team, of course playing for West Brom, with whom he signed a permanent contract after a loan spell from Birmingham. 3-year deal with them. Made 17 starts in the Championship last season. The Scottish match, his first appearance in this Nations League campaign. He'd be hoping to impress Stephen Kenny once again, but it's Ukraine in possession here. Yarmolenko trying to get past two Irish players. Josh Cullen pokes the ball away from him, was picked up by Zinchenko, who's playing a very central midfield role at the moment. It's given to Mikalenko on the overlap here on the left hand side, and the Ukrainian support up off their seats here, full of excitement of course, and with all the troubles going on in their homeland, it is a huge relief for them to be here supporting their team tonight. The ball's been played forward here to Dovbyk, but it's seen out over the line by Nathan Collins. It will be a goal kick to Ireland inside the first 5 minutes. It's Ukraine 0, Ireland 0.
Yeah, good play by Nathan Collins. Again, he's been impressive as well when he's been called on. I know in his debut he did a couple of ropey minutes, but since then he's been outstanding and just tracked the run of Ukraine striker there and done his job really, really well. So Ireland have settled into a good shape. You know they're not going to have the ball for long periods of time tonight, so they've got to have a good shape about them. As I said, stay in the game. And again, Scott Hogan winning a header for Ireland.
Yeah, Scott Hogan won the header for Ireland. Troy Parrott picked up possession, tried to play it forward, but the ball came off the hand of Malinovsky, and it's a free kick to Ireland inside the centre circle, just inside the Ukraine half. And it's Cullen standing over the ball here. Malumbi, who was beside him, just strides forward. Ball is played back to Darragh O'Shea. He then gives it to McLean on the left wing. He pops a pass up forward. He was looking for Troy Parrott, who drifted out left and manages to win a throw for Ireland deep inside the Ukraine half.
Another example of Ireland's running power. Ball going to Troy Parrott, who is playing sort of narrow off the left as a striker, and Jason Knight running behind him, and albeit he didn't get the ball, but that's putting Ukraine's defensive midfielder under a little bit of pressure to track the run, and that's good play from Ireland again.
Brown forward down the right wing, and he plays a pass looking for Scott Hogan to make the run out. He did, but that ball went out of play unfortunately for Hogan, so it will be a throw into Ukraine deep in their own half. In case you missed the preview earlier on, I was mentioning as well, it's a different game altogether to Ireland's defeat last week against Ukraine, of course, losing by 1-0. There's just 4 players on each side starting tonight that started in the game in Dublin. So it really is a different prospect altogether this evening for both sides and for both managers as well, Vinny. Very hard to figure out your tactics and that kind of thing before the game when there's such a change in personnel.
Yeah, but I think Ukraine, to be fair to them, probably took it a little bit easier against us. They made the changes because of what went on in the Scotland game. Some of ours are enforced, some for tactical, but also you would have to say that some of the young players seized the moment the other day and probably put themselves ahead of some of the more senior players. And I think this, albeit I expect a difficult night for us, I think this looks a better balanced team from Ireland with them young players in the team. And again, we win a free kick there, and it's Jason Malumbi's running power from that midfield, something we've missed in those 2 difficult games against Ukraine and Armenia. Brilliant by Jason Malumbi, and Ireland will be well pleased with this first couple of minutes.
Yeah, Malumbi's got a great engine on him. In fact, he took out the assistant referee accidentally as he went down on the touchline there.
Accidentally on purpose, Stephen. That's the one, you always enjoy that one. Sorry about that, Lino. Won't happen again.
Both men are okay, but it did come from a Caoimhín Kelleher long kick out. Alan Brown knocking down to Malumbi, who then won the free kick. So that one of those familiar outballs we're going to see from the Liverpool goalkeeper minding the nets for Ireland tonight. So the free kick is about 20 yards up from the halfway line. It's hit in by Josh Cullen. It's a poor one though, poor delivery from him, and it's headed away on the edge of the box by Dovbyk, and it's picked up by James McLean on the halfway line for Ireland. He darts forward. McLean then leaves the ball outside him for Parrott. Parrott then passes all the way back to Darragh O'Shea, and it's O'Shea to Josh Cullen, and Cullen just taking up that central position in the Irish team, pulling all the strings. The ball has been sent forward by Darragh Lenihan, and then it's picked up then by Ukraine. Eventually it's cleared away by Zaberny, and Mikalenko is the man to play it back to the centre half. Zaberny with a no-nonsense clearance there. So Ukraine in possession here, the ball played forward to Yarmolenko. And then he leaves it off there for Malinovsky on the right wing. Yarmolenko back in possession again. Now it's Malinovsky. Zinchenko just on the halfway line, enters the Irish half, plays the ball out to Shaparenko. He's got Mikolenko on his outside again, running towards two Irish players. Mikolenko takes the pass, then he cuts inside off that left wing, plays it back to Zinchenko. He gives it to Yarmolenko. It's a good back heel by him, but he just can't find Sidorchuk, who he's trying to find, is picked up then for Ireland. And it looks like there was a foul there, I think, on, it was Jason Knight who got forward for Ireland, just coming up to the halfway line. It looked like he was taken down, but the referee says no foul. Ukraine back in possession. It's Shaparenko now on the ball, and he gives it out to Karavayev, the right back, then plays inside to Malinovsky. Quick 1-2 with Yarmolenko, and the Atalanta player now just pokes a pass forward. It's a good one to Shaparenko. He's got options in front of him. Yarmolenko in the box, as is Dovbyk, but he goes outside to Karavayev, the right back.
Ukraine have really settled now, Stephen. In the first couple of minutes, Ireland done really well, put them under a lot of pressure, but now you feel Ukraine have just settled into the rhythm, finding a lot of good passes. Zinchenko in the middle of it all. Pep Guardiola will be watching his midfield performances of late, but really good from them. You have Ireland running around, but so far for the first 10 minutes without the ball, Ireland's shape has been excellent, and that young youthfulness about them has put Ukraine under pressure when possible. So good start to be fair for both teams. And it is something Stephen Kenny mentioned in his pre-match press conference before today, that he was impressed with the shape of the team in those big games, the likes of Portugal and that, when they were out of possession, and again against Scotland at the weekend. So it is something obviously they have worked on, and it is paying off. But it is Ukraine in possession once again, played forward by Zabarny, the centre half, who's inside the Irish half. Zinchenko in possession now, leaves it there for Sidorchuk, the Dynamo Kiev captain. It's now it's Shaparenko, plays it outside to Yarmolenko. He's going to put a cross in across the Irish goal, but it's cleared away at the front post by Collins. Comes back out to Yarmolenko. He's on the edge of the box, plays the ball back to Malinovsky. Malinovsky on the left hand side of the centre this time, has a shot. It's punched away by Caoimhín Kelleher. The rebound then fired a goal by Karavayev. That was a brilliant effort by Malinovsky, who we know can crack goals in from that range for Atalanta, but it was an excellent save by Caoimhín Kelleher. Yeah, really good play by Ukraine. Malinovsky with the shot. It may have took a little deflection, which made it an even better save, and to be fair to Caoimhín, he got it out of the danger zone. He pushed it to the side. It's a good stop. Ireland know it's a difficult night ahead of them, but to be fair, the shape is decent. They take shots from 20-25 yards tonight, so they've started well. We started well in a lot of games. This is the moment where they need to build on it and just settle themselves down over the next couple of minutes and stay in this game. There will be a bit of frustration, I'm sure, on the Irish bench, just on that space that opened up on the edge of the box for Malinovsky to take the shot. But Yarmolenko's given away possession here inside the Irish half. It's picked up by Collins. Yeah, we've conceded a lot of goals from that distance, Stephen. I think the difference now this time was, to be fair to Jason Malumbi, he was just a little bit unlucky. He was all over him like a rash, and the ball just happened to break for Malinovsky, and who got a shot off. But much more pressure on him there, and it wasn't a clean strike, even though it was a good one. Oh, the atmosphere at the Łódź Stadium here is tremendous. All of the Ukrainian supporters up on their feet, bouncing up and down, and it looks tremendous atmosphere. And we were worried before the game; it didn't look like a good crowd. So maybe there's a hint of the Irishness about these Ukraine supporters. They waited in the pub until the last minute and just turned up. Yeah, well, they're all flashing the blue and yellow, of course. The blue signifying the sky, the yellow, the wheat, of course, which Ukraine is famous for. And you can see those colours right around the stadium. It is a sight to behold. Here is their team now in possession now. And they're playing outside of, or coming out of the box. It's Matvienko, plays it outside to Mikolenko. Then it's forward to Shaparenko. And then a ball played forward up to Zinchenko. But it's going to be met here by Jason Malumbi, who's come back into the right back position, passes back to Kelleher. He plays a long high ball up in the air. Troy Parrott couldn't go. Jason Irish should say couldn't control it. Then Parrott, and Ukraine have the ball back. It's Karavayev receiving the pass from Malinovsky, who had that shot, the first shot on target of the evening. We've had 13 minutes of action in Łódź, and it is Ukraine 0, Ireland 0. Shaparenko now plays the ball out left. Yeah, we're in a good shape though, Stephen. It must be said, and you can really clearly see on the pitch that 5-3-2 shape. So not a lot of spaces between the line. Ukraine will have to be patient. They'll go from side to side, and that will suit Ireland. You just got to dig in sometimes like this against I mean, Ukraine have some wonderful footballers. We've seen it over the last couple of weeks, and their ability to keep the ball, and you have the fans behind them as well now. So it is difficult for these young players. But what a way to find out about what these Irish players are made about in this away venue. Really good start from them.
Ball is being played forward here, but it's dealt with by Darragh Lenihan. Short header from him to Josh Cullen. Very clever play there from the Blackburn Rovers defender.
If anything typifies Stephen Kenny coming into this team, the ball came to Josh Cullen there after a header without having possession. And we have to say Ireland, under previous management at different stages, would have cleared that ball very quickly. But to be fair to Josh Cullen, he took a touch, he looked to play a simple and won a free kick. And I think you got to give credit to the management for that part of the game. It's something, look, we can question all different bits and pieces, but that was good play.
Here's a long ball played forward here for Troy Parrott, and looked like he might poke that around Karavayev, but the goalkeeper Riznik saw the danger, came out of his box and cleared that one away. Ireland trying to get it forward again to Troy Parrott, who's gone down in a clash with Malinovsky. And Parrott just holding his thigh muscle here. Hopefully it's not too bad. It looks like maybe a dead leg. But what was good about that build-up play was Ireland have gone long at times, not long ball and Wimbledon-esque or anything like it, but just a little bit more direct. But what we had is an overload with James McLean starting high up the pitch at that stage, and Parrott is just unlucky not to get the ball to James, and we could have created a 2v1. So there's certainly a bit of confidence about this team. They've taken the confidence of the Scotland game into the first 15 minutes of this half. Yeah, something that they were lacking, I think everybody agreed, in Armenia, but it certainly doesn't look to be lacking, as you say here tonight, Vinny. And it is Ukraine now back in possession, but they're forced to go back to the centre half. Zabarini. And it's back to Riznik, the goalkeeper. He's just inside his box here. Ireland just letting Ukraine have a bit of space there around the edge of the area. And it's Matvienko now in possession. He's got Zinchenko calling for the ball outside. The Manchester City player picks it up, gets it forward to Malinovsky, who likes to switch between the left and the right hand side of the defensive midfielder Sidorchuk. And he is a tough midfielder to mark, of course. Great experience with Atalanta. I can tell you this season alone he's played 5 of their 6 Champions League matches, and he also scored 6 goals.
Yeah, good play from Ireland
this season.
Lenihan stepping out the back forward there, really good from him.
Here's Yarmolenko now in the Irish box, or just outside the Irish box I should say. Gets the ball from Dovbyk, then he passes it back to Shaparenko. He floats the ball out to the far post. It's chested down by Alan Brown, then he goes for a short pass back to Caoimhín Kelleher, and the Cork man lashes that one upfield over the halfway line. I should say the other Cork man, Kelleher, of course himself. In fact, Alan Brown and Kelleher, both former Ringmahon Rangers players. Here's Troy Parrott now. He's picked up an bad pass from Ukraine. He's darting forward here. He's got support on the right hand side from Scott Hogan. Instead he has to go out left. Ukraine now getting back in numbers, and the chance of the counter-attack has just faded away there. But Ireland still in possession. Troy Parrott's misplaced pass bounces fortunately into the path of Josh Cullen. He picks out Lenihan. They're still inside the Ukraine half here. Alan Brown now on the right wing tries to cross a ball into Jason Maloney in the box. Jason Knight picks up the clearance, then he crosses back post. It's a header here from Troy Parrott, and it just goes across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. But he really should have done better there, Troy Parrott. It was a brilliant chance from a header and an excellent cross from Jason Knight.
Yeah, it was brilliant play by Ireland. It was Malumbi won it back originally, and Ireland didn't panic when it wasn't on by Troy Parrott. He came out and rebuilt on the other side, and a really excellent cross. Troy Parrott will be disappointed he hasn't scored. Ireland should be 1-0 up, and probably deservedly so after 17 minutes. That was a really big chance for Ireland, and Troy Parrott will really feel he should have scored. Good play from Ireland all round.
Well, Troy Parrott, he really has come of age over the last season on that loan spell with MK Dons. He said himself that it was a wake-up call where he found out what it takes to be a professional footballer, and he had such a good season, scoring 10 and assisting 7 in League One for MK Dons last season.
Stephen, he's 20 years of age as well. Yeah. I think sometimes we forget we're a nation, we're in a hurry to get this team to the level it is. And listen, I was critical of them after Armenia, don't get me wrong, but he's 20 years of age, and you've got to be patient with these lads. But Troy against Scotland, that's the best I've seen him in an Ireland jersey, and he started in the same vein of form here tonight, so really good signs from him.
Yeah, an intelligent lad as well. Like he said that he is planning to go out on loan again next season, but he might do the pre-season trip with Tottenham down to Korea. But he says he does feel he might benefit from another loan spell next season. We're watching Nathan Collins here just spinning away here from Zadorchuk. He was under pressure, but showing all that calmness and assuredness we've seen from him in an Ireland shirt, and of course with Burnley last season, with whom he closed out the season really well despite them getting relegated.
Yeah, Cherry Orchard lad as well. So
like his dad as well, before him and his uncle as well.
His uncle, the whole Cherry Orchard, the Collins family are they worked well together for many years. Really good job down in Cherry Orchard. He done with the likes of the Collinses.
Now it is Ukraine back in possession here once again.
We've seen Alan Brown. I thought he was good against Scotland. He gave us a bit of energy, and he's just had to play a little bit deeper tonight and probably more in a 5. It's James McLean is the one that has given us a little bit more width and started higher. So I'd imagine that's something tactically the management felt was important. Keep a hold of Alan Brown, and when Ireland have the ball, sometimes it's almost a 4 because Alan is that deep so far in the first 20 minutes, but definitely something of note.
Just seen an Irish pass go out over the line, but it was great work in the build-up to it. Nathan Collins coming out from his back 3 anchor position just to dispossess Yarmolenko, and then tried to release one of the Irish players there, but the pass didn't come off for him.
But that's something the two wide centre-halves have done quite well. Lenihan and Collins or O'Shea at different stages have gone in after people, and it's something you have to do in that back 3 system. Can't just sit in there as a 3 sometimes.
It's Mikalenko here, playing more as a wing back this evening. Plays the ball inside to Zinchenko. Zinchenko operating in that inside left channel. He's coming in very central now. Can't get forward because his path is blocked by Malumbi, so he goes outside then to Malinovsky. Malinovsky then to Karavayev, who's in a very advanced position. He gives it to Yarmolenko. He's seen a lot of balls so far this evening, and then he's forced back though under pressure from a couple of Irish players to Malinovsky. He plays the ball forward, but Ireland get that one cleared away. Josh Cullen picks up the loose ball, and then he's tackled by Malinovsky just inside his own half, and it goes out for a throw-in to the men in blue.
Brilliant shape Ireland again. Yarmolenko picking it up, and under a lot of pressure, Jason Knight snapping at his heels, forced him back into his own half. A long ball, Ireland win the header, and lucky not to keep possession of it, but really good shape for Ireland again. And as I keep saying, this first 20 minutes been excellent shape. The management, the staff deserve huge credit, and as we've seen in so many big games for Ireland, they've done really well in their shape, whether it's Portugal, Belgium, so many of them big games, they've done really well. So this is no different. A good start, and to be honest, I think Ireland should be 1-0 up. Troy Parrott should have scored, and nothing more than we would have deserved for this first 21 odd minutes.
Zabarini to his partner Matvienko, plays a long ball up to Mikalenko. He's on the edge of the box, chests it down, has a shot. Kelleher saves with his feet, and then coming back to save Ireland is Alan Brown, who somehow manages to poke that ball out over the line. It looks like a corner kick for Ukraine, but it was a brilliant ball over the top from Matvienko, and a great takedown on the chest by Mikalenko, whose shot was saved by the feet of Caoimhín Kelleher. 2 important saves so far by the big Cork goalkeeper in this first half.
Yeah, it's a big chance for Ukraine. Alan Brown just got done under the ball, and Mikalenko just spotted the run, checked, and then went in behind Alan Brown. Good touch, gets his shot off. To be fair to Caoimhín, he stood up well and saved it. It wasn't a great strike, but at the same time Ireland have got off with one there, and that's probably, I'd say, the staff have noticed that, and that's why we're seeing Alan Brown that little bit deeper. That ball is good play from Ukraine, and unlucky not to take the lead from them.
And lucky for Alan Brown, it did come off a blue man last, so it is a goal kick which Caoimhín Kelleher tries to pick out James McLean with, but it comes off the head of the Derry man.
I presume it's a really proud night, Stephen. Sorry for James McLean.
Massive.
If you're from Derry, does it mean more to Captain Ireland? I don't know, but look, what an amazing night for him. And we can say what we want about him. There's times we'd love James to have a little bit more quality, but he turns up every single time for Ireland, and Looks like it won't be long before he makes 100 appearances for Ireland, and deservedly so.
Going back to what he said himself yesterday, Dave, the chef will have to wait a bit longer to get the captain's armband, because McLean did get it. He's only 6 appearances away from a century of caps. That would be a great achievement for him as well. It's the second time actually he's captained Ireland. He did have the armband for his 50th appearance when we played Mexico in a friendly match over in New Jersey a number of years ago. But here's McLean on the ball now, swings in the cross from the left. It's headed away by Matvienko. Shaparenko dallies on the ball, and in coming from behind him then was a tackle from Jason Knight, but Ukraine have got it back again. It's played out to the left hand side. The ball now with Zinchenko. Zinchenko trying to get past 2 Irish players. He eventually passes through Collins and Cullen, but is picked up there by Dara Lenihan, who then passes back to Caoimhín Kelleher.
Good defensive shape from Ireland on the turnover. Gave the ball high up the pitch away, but Nathan Collins was just calm, just took his time, let Zinchenko do a couple of double step overs, whatever he wanted to do. He just stood his ground, won the ball back, and good play by Nathan Collins again there.
Alan Brown tries to play another ball down that right wing, takes a deflection, and then picked up by Scott Hogan. He was just nudged in the back there by the Ukrainian defender Matvienko, and it came off his chest and out for a throw in.
It's not late enough. I'll just use the word backside, but that's where he's got to get his backside out, feel the defender, and just hold the ball in. We could do with him.
Give it to John Walters there, Vinny.
Yeah, the Johnny Walters, or Pa Hooban has a nice big one of those to protect himself. We're not
past the watershed yet, Vinny, okay. So careful there.
But Scott Hogan is definitely one that could give us more of a platform, I would say. I'd say that's something we'd prefer. Obviously, Chidozie wasn't ready to start this game, so a big night for Scott Hogan. We could do a big performance from him.
Now, we've just seen a replay there of a 50-50 tackle there, and going in hard were Malinovsky and Josh Cullen. Looks like Malinovsky came off the worst. He's getting a bit of deep heat sprayed onto his hip there. He's got a bit of a hip problem. He's now got a big ice bag on that as he gets escorted off the pitch by the Ukraine physio.
Yeah, but what's important about that, Stephen, is this young players like Malumbi, Knight, Cullen, what they've added is real tigers. Like, they're getting stuck into tackles, and for many years that's what we're all about. And I think now when you add that to some of the passing moves and a little bit more quality, there's the makings of a really good side here. And I think whatever way we found this team or these young players in the team, it's certainly given us something more. I feel the last couple of games have been really good in that sense.
Collins on the ball now, gets over the halfway line, gives it to Cullen. Cullen turns, doesn't really look where he's passing it, but luckily for him, Dara O'Shea saw it, got there before a man in a blue shirt, but then the pass upfield has been given away to Ukraine. Malinovsky now picking up a loose ball as he puts it out and puts his hand up, saying he needs to be substituted. So a big blow for Ukraine here. The man who got their first shot on target and one of their more experienced and best players, Malinovsky, will have to go off with that hip injury he suffered in that collision with Josh Cullen. Two players going at it 50-50. There was no malice in it from either man, but unfortunately now for Ukraine, they're going to have to make their first change in the 26th minute with the score still Ukraine 0, Ireland 0.
Yeah, just a little bit of sloppy play there from Dara O'Shea. I suppose he hasn't played a lot of football of late, and he's going to have to find his feet, but really exciting player, Dara O'Shea. I really think the world of him. I think he has a real chance of being a top class striker.
I always go back, Vinny, to the games in I should say the Etihad. I nearly said Main Road. Etihad and Anfield, when he played against Liverpool and Man City. West Brom got those incredible 0-0 results against those sides, and he was excellent on both nights. He really looked like the most experienced man at the back for West Brom.
Yeah, no, he, as I keep saying, I think the injury really stunted him a little bit and really would have hurt him, because he probably felt he was growing into that role at West Brom, and obviously internationally he was really growing into that role. But for me, he's so exciting, and look, it's like so many of our young players, there's a lot of development left in them, but for me, I think he could be our best centre half going forward for a long time. And obviously his club form is important in that sense. So no, Dara's been excellent. He has a little bit of it all, and he reminds me of a friend of mine that used to play centre half for Ireland a bit, you know.
Well, I was thinking actually of Kevin Moran, because he does have a good GAA background as well. St Jude's, the club he came from, and there was talk that he could actually have an inter-county career if he had stuck.
Is Dara O'Shea a Jude's man?
Yeah, Jude's man, as far as I hope.
And he went over.
Right now. It's not Ballyboden, but I think he's St Jude's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he went over to Kevin's as a footballer.
That's right, yeah. But Malinovsky now has gone off the park. We're just waiting on confirmation there on the change And it is actually Mudryk who's going to come on for Ukraine.
Oh, hell of a good player. He really came on against Scotland, and he was outstanding, and really, really good player. And he's probably in many ways more of a threat, you know, so really, really good player.
Yes, it is. Mikhailo, I should say, Mudryk coming on for Malinovsky. And it's a blow for Ukraine to lose Malinovsky, but as Vinny says, Mudryk is 21-year-old midfielder from Shakhtar Donetsk. A very capable player indeed. Josh Cullen now takes a free kick for Ireland across the field to McLean, who hits a long corner into the box, headed down by Collins, and then is chested down and hit on the edge of the box there by Dara O'Shea, and it just goes off target. O'Shea was saying he was pulled down as he took that shot, was looking for a free kick perhaps. Was Sidorchuk the man who came in there to try and put him off his effort, but it was a really good move there by Ireland.
Yeah, free kick, basic enough, but changed the angle of it cleverly. Went to James McLean, who switched it back to Darragh Lenihan, won the first header, and really unlucky. Dara O'Shea just couldn't get the ball out of his feet, but yeah, there's Ireland again on the press, giving away a free kick, but that's the difference in this Irish team. There's a little bit of hunger about them. I used the word tigerish about some of the players. Troy Parrott there, not afraid to put the boot in, not going over that threshold of a yellow card, but just making Ukraine think about it before they overplay and get too confident.
It's Ukraine now in possession, pass from Karavayev, the right back, and that goes all the way back to Lenihan. Lenihan then back to Kelleher. Kelleher with his right boot fires that ball right up the centre of the field, and it goes up to his opposite number.
Very noticeable how direct Kelleher has been tonight. I thought he took a couple of almost too many chances the other night against Scotland, and looked a little bit overconfident, for better word, but he's gone a little bit more direct tonight, and it's been really obvious.
Here is Rishnik, the goalkeeper, making his debut. Ball played out to Zinchenko, then to Sidorchuk, fires that ball forward looking for Mudryk, can't hold on to it, but then it's picked up then by Dovvik, but Ireland have won it back again. Jason Knight, it's back to Collins now to Alan Brown on the right wing, plays a ball infield to Scott Hogan can't hold on to it there, he's tackled from behind. Ukraine have it back, it's with Mikolenko just outside his own box, passes back to Matvienko, the centre half.
Yeah, Scott Hogan's got to do more for us there, you know. It was really, really good play by Darragh Lenihan, and that's what the centre halves have done they stepped into midfield, won a tackle, Ireland turned it over, great pass by Alan Brown, and Scott Hogan just gives away cheaply. And when a team like Ukraine like to dominate the ball, your centre forward has to give you more of a platform. Just disappointed from him, we need him to improve.
Ball played forward down the right wing for Ukraine, but it's headed away by Collins. Collins gets the ball to Malumbi then to Cullen. He's over the halfway line, plays the ball out left to Troy Parrott. It's Jason Knight actually running at the ball here, but he's tackled, and Ukraine have the ball back, but it's a loose pass picked up by Collins on the halfway line. He's getting forward, he's into the box, Collins has a shot, Collins scores a goal! That's an incredible goal by the Irish centre back Nathan Collins. Well, we were praising him over the last couple of weeks for his excellent performances at the back, but I've just seen one of the most great solo effort goals scored by an Irish international, dribbling from the halfway line. Nathan Collins, the centre back, and then a beautiful finish past the goalkeeper Rishnik. It's Ukraine 0, Ireland 1.
Nothing more than Ireland deserves. So brave by the centre half. We've been speaking about it, stepping into midfield, putting Ukraine under pressure, and Nathan Collins, what skill, what class by the big man. I'd say he's done it a few times down on the lawns in Ballyfermot, but this is different. This is world class play from him. Steps inside, brilliant shimmy, and didn't panic when he ended 1-on-1 with the keeper outside of the right boot and put it into the back of net. That's an outstanding goal by anybody in any world football game. That's a brilliant goal from him, and nothing more than Ireland deserve. What a brilliant start to this game.
His last piece of the dribble, he got a little bit of luck with the ball coming off his left knee.
When you play in the
afterwards,
no, when you play in the lawns, you need to play that bubble onto your shin. It's brilliant by Nathan Collins.
Incredible.
He deserved to look at that last moment, because the bravery of it, away in Ukraine, obviously the game is in Poland, but away and the bravery to step into midfield against a really good side and put them under pressure. We've seen Dara O'Shea just previously do it, but that's brilliant play from Ireland, and excellent. Stephen Kenny looks really, really happy with the start here. Ireland are really in the ascendancy in this game. 32 minutes in, and he deservedly lead.
Yes, the goal from Nathan Collins, the night of his 6th cap, just his 6th cap, and the centre half from Leixlip dribbles through the Ukraine midfield and defence and fires home his first ever international goal. Well, I'll tell you, he'll remember that one long years into his career. Fantastic finish by Nathan Collins, and I'm sure everybody out in Leixlip were cheering that one on, and up in Burnley as well. He scored 2 goals for Burnley in the Premier League last season, but none like that. That'll be remembered for a long time. So 33 minutes on the clock now. Can Ireland get to the half-time break with this very, very important lead? 6 points at the end of this international break will be quite an achievement by Stephen Kenny and
maybe
his team.
Winning the group isn't that far off after all, is it? Jesus.
Yes, indeed, Vinny. Alan Brown now throws the ball to Knight, and he gives it back to Brown, but Brown looks like he was fouled there down near the corner flag at the Ukraine end. No, it's actually a throw-in to the visiting side. Alan Brown, the player did get the ball when he came in with a fairly hefty tackle. So another throw into Ireland, right down to our right-hand side here.
Just a tactical thing Ireland do from these throw-ins, and that's sort of the final 10-12 yards. One of the centre half go up to the pitch, which is it's a strange one. I've seen Chelsea do it as well. So I think it's Darragh Lenihan this time has gone up as a centre forward for that throw-in. So tactically, what they're looking to do is get the throw-in back to the thrower, have a cross in the box, and have one of your 6-foot centre halves in there. So it's an interesting tactic from them.
Well, here's Alan Brown now, just shepherding the ball over the touchline under pressure from the substitute Mudryk. So
Alan Brown's a player, Stephen, I've been calling for. I think he's a goal threat. I know his goal the other night against Scotland was from probably half a yard, but I just think the job he does at Preston, and we don't watch loads of championship football in Ireland, but he's done a brilliant job in so many different positions for Preston at a really high level in the championship, and I think he's a real addition to this Irish side without being spectacular about anything. He just does a really good job for us, and as I said, fit, hungry player, doing really well.
He's still only 27. He can play central midfield, attacking midfield, out in the right wing, play a right back, a man who's so versatile. He actually scored 5 goals and got 4 assists for Preston last season, and was their club, or is their club captain, and shares that armband sometimes. But it's Ireland now in possession. Brown just letting that ball go past him. Lenihan picks it up, plays it inside to Cullen. Cullen's been really busy tonight, gets past Zinchenko, but then gives the ball away. He's done that a couple of times. The ball is being played forward now here to Mudryk. Has it come off his hand here? No, it hasn't. He gets around 2 Irish players. He's into the box, to the byline, pulls that ball back. Coming in from the far side is Karavayev, and he blasts the ball over the bar at a very smoky looking Wood Arena here. It remains Ukraine 0, Ireland 1.
Yeah, and that's the threat from Ukraine. Sloppy pass by Josh Cullen. He hasn't been brilliant today. He's showed energy, but it's just the range of his passing hasn't been there, and Troy Parrott went in behind, and Cullen tried to drop it to his feet. Ball turns over, and Ukraine showed their real quality. Unlucky not to hit the target out of the back post, but Ireland just need to get to half time now. Nothing drastic over the next 10 minutes. They played really well, had a good shape, and just continue to do what they're doing.
Troy Parrott's done really well there to win a foul just outside the box of the Ukraine team. Well, about 25 yards out, he was tackled there by Matvienko. So free kick to Ireland. It's about 40 yards from goal here, so a chance to get a couple of the big men up and try and loft this one in.
James McLean's delivery the other night was really good. Josh Cullen has hit a couple of them tonight, and his delivery hasn't been that good, so I'm not sure why we changed to Cullen tonight.
Here he is now, just plays a short one out to the left hand side. It's picked up by McLean, he plays it back in. Now it's to Jason Knight. Jason Knight then lofts that ball towards the far post for Collins to try and head down, but he heads it out of the box, and then it is Dobic who comes back then to claim that ball for Ukraine, but then Collins has picked it up before Ukraine can counter-attack, gives it back then. It's to Josh Cullen, then Cullen that goes all the way back to Kelleher on the edge of his box, then launches that ball long upfield. Parrott just lets it go over the head of his Ukraine marker, then takes the pass from Scott Hogan. Good play by the striker this time, Scott Hogan. Parrott now to McLean. McLean has 2 players in front of him. He's trying to find space to cross. He gets that ball towards the centre spot, or the penalty spot I should say, but it's cleared away there by Mikolenko, who read the danger.
Oh, we're playing well now. Alan Brown had an overload at the back post. And Ireland are in again here.
Here's Jason Knight. He's about 20 yards from goal. Has a shot, and it is saved by Riznik to his right. But the ball played back in by Parrott, and then Riznik gets up to claim that one. The Irish players obviously smell blood with this very inexperienced goalkeeper. Knight has a shot there. Riznik does well to save, but I wouldn't say it was really convincing, Vinny.
No, poor goalkeeping, and he just parried it. Parrott probably should have done a little better. He got 3 in the box there, and he should have picked someone out. Just really good play from Ireland, though. The intensity, it is an old-fashioned word, but they're scrapping. They're in and looking for every ball. It's a really strong performance, and the Irish players are being excellent, and this is as good as I've seen from the Irish team since Stephen Kenny has taken over, I must say.
It is quite humid in Woolwich, not very hot at the moment. I think we're in around 14 degrees, but I have to say the pitch looks a bit dry there. Could do with a bit of a sprinkling maybe on half time, might help things a little bit better in the second half. It's looking a bit dry there at the moment, but it's Shaparenko in possession now for Ukraine. Plays the ball out to Yarmolenko, back to Shaparenko, and then it's all the way back to Malinovsky, or Matvienko I should say. Then it's played forward to Yarmolenko, tries to pull that ball back from the byline, and it goes up in the air. Mudryk tried to come in there, but it's claimed by Caoimhín Gallagher. We're under no pressure, I should say, in the box there. The ball was played forward by Shaparenko to Yarmolenko, but he just couldn't pull out a good pass there.
Yeah, we need to speak about that at half time, whether it's been Alan Brown or that time I think it was Nathan Collins. What Yarmolenko done, he showed the feet and then spun in behind it, something they're obviously working on. He did it on the other side. Nathan Collins got attracted to the ball in behind. Yarmolenko picks out cross. Caoimhín Gallagher does well, but Ireland need to keep an eye on that. Not for the first time. We've been done a little bit in behind, but thankfully we defended it quite well. And again, Alan Brown has defended really well. I thought he was excellent defensively as well against Scotland, particularly in our first couple of minutes. Scotland had a few chances, got some good blocks in, and he's continued that form tonight, so really good play.
It is Ukraine 0, Ireland 1 as we approach the 40th minute. If you've just joined us, Stephen Doyle here alongside Vinny Perth live and off the ball. Ball has been played forward here, it's headed back though, and it is claimed by the goalkeeper Riznik after Karavayev came back there to nod it back to his goalkeeper. But it is 1-0 to Ireland in Łódź in Poland. The goal scored by Nathan Collins, his first international goal for the Republic of Ireland, scored after 32 minutes. A la George Best, Franz Beckenbauer, take your pick. It was an incredible goal. Here's Ukraine now as they try and attack, find an equaliser before the break. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Shaparenko plays it to Matvienko. Matvienko now striding forward towards the halfway line with purpose. Just takes the ball, another touch on his left foot, gives it to Mikolenko on his outside, back to the centre half, then he gets it forward to Mudryk, and Mudryk smothered by a big clamour of orange shirts, and then it's played forward now to Scott Hogan. Scott Hogan, can he hold it up this time? He hits it off the recovering centre half Zabarini, and then puts it out for a throw into Ireland inside the Ukraine half.
Yeah, brilliant defending there by Ireland. Not afraid. It was Lenihan and Alan Brown putting Ukraine under pressure. Long ball up to Scott Hogan. Not a lot more you could do. He wins Ireland a throw in. Much better from Hogan, and Ireland were able to they've gone back to Caoimhín Gallagher now, and again not the best pass by him.
No, launches that one forward. It came to Mikolenko, who tried to cushion it down from Mudryk, but Adam Brown won it back for Ireland. Now it's with Cullen, back to Lenihan, and now with Brown. Brown tries one of those balls up the right hand side again, looking for Hogan, but it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Riznik. He rolls it out straight away to Matvienko. Matvienko then gives it to with Zinchenko now on the left wing, plays that forward to Mudryk. Mudryk then loses possession once again. He hasn't had a good game since he's come off the bench, but the ball's been given away by Lenihan to Shaparenko. Shaparenko, the centre mid, who likes to get around all over the field. He's been left, he's been right tonight. The ball now with Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko running at Jason Knight, then plays the ball inside the box to Dovbyk. Back to Yarmolenko, he goes down in the box. Ukraine, the supporters up off their feet looking for a penalty kick, but the referee wags his finger at the former West Ham striker, says no, that wasn't a penalty. It was a bit of a dive, and he lets play go on. I think it's gone out for a throw in.
Well, VAR will check it, but there's nothing to check. Yarmolenko has dived, and to be fair, it wouldn't have been a harsh yellow card if he got one. It's an awful attempt of a dive. over Dara O'Shea, who had cleared the ball. So look, 3 minutes to half time, been a really, really good half for Ireland. Just got to stay, again, when they haven't had the ball, they've been really strong and compact. Got to stay that way, got to be careful that the ball's in behind. Ukraine have gone a little bit direct over centre half's head, and just stay in this, get in a half time. As you said, it's a warm evening here, and hopefully Ireland can just settle themselves down at half time, and the manager will send the tactics out for the second half.
The ball now with Ukraine. Karavayev, the right back, plays it in field. Yarmolenko has to go back to his centre half, Zabarini, and then it's forward then to Mudryk. And there's been a foul there by James McLean, so it will be a free kick.
That's what they call a clever foul, Stephen. He did 2v1 situation, so got to the ball quickly, made the foul, and the team were able to reset their shape again. But Ireland's shape again is forcing Ukraine back, and really good pressure. There's good energy about them. Scott Hogan, to be fair, hold the ball up better, but his energy's been really high.
Good pressing from him. James McLean can't get the ball off Karavayev. It's played inside to Zinchenko, but then a brilliant tackle there by Jason Knight to take the ball off Zinchenko. Yarmolenko comes in, picks up the loose one, gives it to Shaparenko. Now it's Mikalenko on the left wing. Mikalenko tries to come in field once again, gives it back to Shaparenko. He floats the ball out to the right wing to the fullback Karavayev. It's into the box, and there's a shot on the body by Zinchenko, but it's nowhere near the target. Picked up on the far side by Mikalenko, and it goes out for a goal kick to Ireland. It remains Ukraine 0, Ireland 1. 2 minutes to the full-time half-time whistle.
We're just hanging on a little bit now the last couple of minutes. Jason Knight won the ball back, and he knocked it 2 or 3 yards, just toe poked it away from the attacker, and he just didn't have the legs to go and get it again the next time. And I think Ciaran Kelleher should take as long as he can with this goal kick. Ireland just need to get into half time. There's about a minute left, shouldn't be much injury time. Ciaran should take a day and an age, pretend he's playing for Ringmountain Rangers, and just take his time, and no big rush here. And Ireland just need to get in at half time.
I'd imagine there will be a bit of time added on just for the attention to Malinovsky, who was subbed off with that hip injury, replaced by Mudryk in this first half. Jason Mullenby takes a big tackle there from Mudryk. The ball goes out for a throw in to Ireland.
Mullenby's been excellent again, hasn't he, Stephen?
Really combative.
Good energy. That's the word, isn't it? Combative. Really combative.
Here is Lenihan now to take the throw in. He's had a good competitive debut as well. The Meath man hailing from Dunboyne. Ball now is being headed around by a couple of blue shirts. Zinchenko gets it down eventually to Mikalenko. Comes in then.
Meath are starting to get a few Irish internationals, aren't they? What's going on? They've given up on the GA, is it?
No comment. Here's Mikalenko just put that ball out for a throw in to Ireland, and we're going to have 3 minutes added on at the end of the 45. We've just had 10 seconds at that. Lenihan with a long throw up the right hand side. It's headed away by Matvienko, and the loose ball there. There was an attempt to reclaim it there by Alan Brown. Said he was fouled from behind. Referee peeps his whistle.
I just seen my old Longford Town kitman Fergus McNally there, just demanding the ref giving Ireland that free kick. Getting a little bit carried away with himself, but great to see Fergus up at the highest level. Longford Town to Ireland kitman, not a bad.
From the flank zero to Uch, here is Josh Cullen now standing over the free kick. It's just inside the touchline, and about 20 yards up, well, about 15 yards up from the halfway line. A lot of big Irish players in the box there. It's floated towards the edge of the box. Collins will head this down once again, and it just goes out. Well, it looked like it was going to go out for a goal kick, but the goalkeeper Rishnik gets back there. Collins, the big target for Ireland in those set pieces all night, and it is Ukraine back in possession here. We're into the last 2 minutes of the 3 added on. Ball played out to the right hand side. The fullback Karavayev inside his own half gets it across to Sidorchuk, and then it's back to Severani. He then plays a long diagonal pass to Mudryk to head down looking for Mikalenko, but Lenihan saw the danger there. He clears it away, picked up then by Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott takes the foul from behind, and the referee blows his whistle, gives the free kick. And that's clever play there by Troy Parrott, who knew he's in trouble with Shaparenko, putting him under pressure in his own half.
Yeah, good play by Troy. I don't think people realise how good he is with them ball at his feet. Obviously, playing that street football growing up has really helped him, but really good play by Troy. And Ireland now just slow it down a little bit, just try and get to half time, and you'd imagine the manager really happy with this so far.
Darragh Lenihan closed that ball with the free kick up towards Scott Hogan, but just goes over the head of the Birmingham City striker. and into the arms of Rishnik, the goalkeeper. We're into the last minute now before the referee blows his half-time whistle. Ball with Karavayev up the right wing, plays it inside to Sidorchuk. He plays it forward to Yarmolenko. Under pressure there from James McLean, but the referee says there was an infringement by the Irish captain for the night, and it will be a free kick to Ukraine. This will be the last play of the match, you would imagine.
Yeah, not like James to disagree with the referee, but you can't go through the back of him. He tried to just poke it through Yarmolenko's legs, and Ireland just need to defend this properly. Ukraine are a big side as well, but we've got some strong people there in the air, and we've got to win this first header.
Zinchenko hits it in here, and it's in towards the penalty area, headed away by Lenihan and then hooked away by the right boot of Troy Parrott. Only as far though as Matvienko. He plays it out right to Karavayev. Inside to Zinchenko, took the free kick. He floats the ball into the centre. It's headed on by Mikolenko, but then headed away by Darragh O'Shea. A brilliant strong header there by the Dubliner. It's hooked back in though by the Ukraine, and the ball eventually caught by Caoimhín Kelleher. And there we have it. The half-time whistle has been blown. Those two important Caoimhín Kelleher saves kept Ireland in the game early on. They had a brilliant chance with Troy Parrott to head Ireland in front midway through that first half. Unfortunately for him, it was just off target. But what about the goal? What about the goal that eventually put Ireland in front at half-time by 1-0? Nathan Collins scoring his first international goal for the Republic of Ireland. A brilliant streaking move from just inside the Ukraine half, beating two players before a deft finish with the outside of his right boot. It was an incredible goal. He'll remember it forever. But at half-time here, it's Ukraine 0, Ireland 1.
Stephen Doyle, thanks very much. Vinny Perth. So Nathan Collins, take a bow. I mean, we don't want to go overboard, but it's sort of like Beckenbauer meets John Barnes at the Maracana. That's what it was, really. It was just a thing of beauty. So Nathan Collins 1-0 up Ireland, and that's a very acceptable 45 minutes to say the least. We'll chat about it in just a moment. We will run you through a few other bits and pieces going on, and of course second half to come. Our football coverage is with thanks to Sky, proud partner of the women's national football team. Out Believe together, and we can go anywhere. Back in 1 sec.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, all the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
News Talk Breakfast.
On Tuesday's show, columnist David Quinn called on the government to give a grant to parents who want to stay at home.
And I don't think we've had a proper debate about this. I think it's been kind of assumed that all parents want daycare, but the voices of other parents also need to be heard, but there's namely those parents who would rather have some other option other than daycare.
News Talk Breakfast with Ciara Kelly and Shane Coleman.
In association with AIR.
Weekday mornings at 7 on News Talk.
Looking for a great value break in Ireland this summer? GoBreaks.ie will find the best hotel deals for you from just €85 per night.
Go Breaks! When Peugeot created the new 308, they didn't just reinvent the wheel, they reinvented the whole car. It's a new concept in interior space with technology like customizable iToggles for on-screen shortcuts, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and the new iCockpit for premium comfort and visibility. The Peugeot 308 with high performance and low emissions. It's an all-new driving experience. Test drive the hybrid petrol or diesel 308 at your local Peugeot dealer today.
There's never been a better time to switch to Electric Ireland. We're offering all new customers a €170 welcome bonus with our 2-year deal. All you have to do is call 1800 30 50 90 or visit electricireland.ie. For your welcome bonus, switch to Electric Ireland today. Estimated annual bill €2,404. Electricity and gas discounted unit rate including standing charge, PSO levy and carbon tax. 24-month contract. T's and C's apply. See electricireland.ie.
Guaranteed Irish business members continue to sustain jobs and communities across Ireland.
Gifts.ie is Ireland's leading gift delivery company for over 20 years, allowing you to order unique gifts and hampers directly to your recipient. From birthdays or corporate events to personalised gifts and cards for that special someone, there are thousands of options to choose from. Visit gifts.ie and send a gift today. So look out for the G. GuaranteedIrish.ie. Altogether better.
Galvin Tullamore, destination menswear store since 1949. Galvin Tullamore.
Would you like to further your education without the need to attend on campus?
Atlantic Technological University Sligo are now making education accessible through the Higher Education for All initiative. Study a full-time degree and attend live online classes in an inclusive learning environment. If you need to stay at home due to caring commitments, a disability or financial circumstances, then Higher Education for All at ATU Sligo can help you take the next step. Visit atu.ie/higher education for all.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, proud partner of our women's national football team. Out believe together and we can go anywhere. Your chance to win big. News Talk's Summer Cash Machine.
Now, Barry's call went unanswered again today, which means more cash to give away with another rollover. So if you've already entered, you remain in the draw, but you do need to know the new amount, which is €33,461.16. That's 16 cents. If you want to get involved, you have to text play to 57557. That's a new number, 57557. Get your entry in by 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then across the Go Loud network of stations, Barry Dunn will make the call. If your phone rings, answer within 5 rings, give him the exact amount in euro and cent, and the cash is yours. So the new number for tomorrow, €33,461.16. Now it's over 18s only, text cost €2.50, and you're playing across the Go Loud network of stations. Terms and conditions are on newstalk.com.
Picked up by Collins on the halfway line. He's getting forward. He's into the box. Collins has a shot. Collins scores a goal. That's an incredible goal by the Irish centre-back, Nathan Collins. Well, we were praising him over the last couple of weeks for his excellent performances at the back, but I've just seen one of the most great solo effort goals scored by an Irish international dribbling from the halfway line. Nathan Collins, the centre-back, and then a beautiful finish past the goalkeeper, Riznik. It's Ukraine 0, Ireland 1.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. Michael McCarthy's alongside me in studio. We're just watching a replay of the goals. So Nathan Collins has made a habit over the last couple of games of stepping in and winning the ball ahead of his man, and that's really been an eye-catching aspect to his play. What we haven't seen on top of the stepping in, winning the ball, is running by 1, 2, 3 and a half players and then finishing with the outside of his butt. I would say it was like an arrogant finish. It was a training ground finish where it was like, this is the only place I can put it, and pretty sure I'm going to get this because the angle's beautiful and perfect. So outside of the boot it is. It was functional and arrogant.
It's a beautiful finish. I can't believe we've seen that goal after the 2 goals that we were spoiled with on Saturday. Yeah. To see that goal today from a centre half. And look, how many times have I been in here moaning about Irish centre halves being the only way we can score? I'll take it if this is the way to do it. Yeah, I think you're very right though about the fact that he is stepping up. Like, he's rewarded for that there. After that, it's positivity and a little bit of luck gets him into the position where he can have that audacious finish with the outside of his foot. Beautiful. Like, just so natural as well. Like, that's just a footballer. Yeah. You know, like, who just like that. Like, it isn't actually a kind of a taking the piss or whatever. It's just that, like, he knows that's the way to do it here. You know, like, that's split second thinking. Fantastic goal. But again, he's rewarded for stepping up, and then suddenly it opens up for him. Yeah. He's in that position. Brilliant.
Like, when he stepped up, he didn't envisage 5 seconds later he would be finishing that way. It just sort of kept developing, and he kept going and chopped inside one, and
it all happened quite quickly.
Yeah.
Brilliant goal. So yeah, like, we're beating look, all the chances were Ireland's as well, you know. Like, pretty much. It was an even enough maybe first half, at least until the goal, but all the chances, you know, Jason Knight had a shot, Parrott, like, we're playing very well. I think there's an element, Joe, if we're being honest, that what we thought this group, you know, before the Nations League game started, but after, or, you know, I suppose around the time of the Armenia game, when we were thinking like neither Scotland nor Ukraine are going to come into this feeling that great about themselves, having not qualified for the World Cup. And maybe that's manifested itself a week late, but at the same time we'll take it. And it's not as if like it's not as if we're not doing anything to you know, to achieve this ourselves. Like, you know, 3 of the best goals I've seen Ireland score in a long time have happened in our last 3 goals.
Well, it's going very well. Half time, Ukraine 0, Ireland 1 is where we are. Should mention as well, OTB are heading to the Roisin Dove in Galway tomorrow, all with thanks to Island's Edge for a special show. There'll be Stephen Hunt, Savannah McCarthy, other special guests for an evening of analysis and more. To register for tickets, check out OTB's social channels or just search Island's Edge Podcast Tour. So that's tomorrow at the Roisin Dove in Galway. We've got a second half to bring you from Poland. That's next.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, all the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
Today, you can alleviate stress on your company finances and stress on the electricity grid by participating in demand response with NLX. By adjusting your energy usage for just a few hours per year, your business could receive a welcome revenue boost. And we could all benefit from a more sustainable future. With NLX, the power really is in your hands. To find out more, visit demandresponse.ie.
You can do pretty much anything in just a few taps. Buy a car, book a holiday, and now you can even apply for a permanent TSB digital current account in-app in minutes. It's quick, it's mobile, it's the start of making your everyday banking easier. Now that's permanent support. Application in your sole name for over 18 personal customers and residents of the Republic of Ireland only. Qualifying criteria, terms and conditions apply. Permanent TSB PLC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Guaranteed Irish business members continue to sustain jobs and communities across Ireland.
For over 50 years, DID Electrical continues to deliver, install and demonstrate the latest home appliances and technology to local communities, with a commitment to providing superior service at guaranteed low prices. 100% Irish owned, DID Electrical has a dedicated team of 400 people across 23 stores and online at did.ie. So look out for the G, guaranteedirish.ie. Altogether better.
Ellen, write what you want to be when you grow up on the blackboard.
Ellen, remember to sign up for the swim team.
Ellen, all competitors must register today.
Alan Keane has written a name into the history books by winning gold for Ireland.
Nothing is written until you write it.
Ellen, can I have your autograph?
You write it, we underwrite it. Allianz, proudly supporting Paralympics Ireland since 2010.
So how's your constipation these days, Patsy?
Oh, I've been taking Fibergel. It's full of fibre, which naturally relieves constipation and helps maintain regularity.
Fabulous. My constipation is much more mild, so I take the chewable tablets from Fibergel.
Oh.
Super convenient. Just pop it in your mouth to make number 2 a little less of a to-do.
Mum, Patsy, I am never coming to tea with you again.
Fibergel High Fibre Orange Granules contains this. Bagula Husk, always read the label. Fibergel Fibre Chews is a medical device, always read the instructions.
It's not just the magnificent manor house, the stunning lake views and luxury gate and orchard residences. It's not just the new canopy restaurant and bar, the welcoming spa and country club, or the on-site experiences. It's knowing that you're staying at the 5-star Castlemartyr Resort. And life doesn't get much better than this. Memories are made at Castlemartyr. Make yours this summer. Book now at castlemartyrresort.ie.
Football on off the ball.
With Sky, proud partner of our women's national football team. Out-believe together, and we can go anywhere.
Now you're very welcome back. So just to bring you up to speed on what's going on around Europe this evening in the Nations League in League A Group 3, England at home to Hungary are 1-0 down at half-time. Germany are 2-0 up at home to Italy. Elsewhere in League A Group 4 we have Netherlands 2-1 up against Wales half-time, and Belgium are 1-0 up away to Poland. Also in Poland this evening, of course, we have Ukraine 0, Republic of Ireland 1, and in our group Armenia 1, Scotland 4 is a full-time result, but we are pretty much ready to get going again for the second half. We would class that, I think, Stephen Doyle, as a very acceptable first half. More of the same, please.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Of course, we're all getting very excited about the goal, but I think the general all-round play from Ireland has been really good. In fact, I can't think, Vinny Perth, of a player out there tonight who's had a bad game.
No, we'd like a little bit more from Scott Hogan at different stages in his whole of play, but beyond that, it looks like Cullen is not as brilliant with his passing as he has been at different stages, but you're nitpicking at this stage. That's been a really, really good performance, and it deserved leave. I know Ukraine had a couple of little spells in it, but we've been very good in that game.
I should say as well, we probably haven't made enough fanfare over the competitive debut of Darragh Lenihan. Of course, 28 years of age, a very, very experienced campaigner. He's in his 7th championship season with Blackburn Rovers. That's a great achievement for any footballer at that level, to be so consistent and to be playing in a side for that long. And he's looked really, he hasn't looked out of place tonight with that Irish team.
No, he's done really well. And again, what they've done is they've I spoke about it in commentary there throughout the game. They've been brave and they've stepped out and gone in after the Ukraine midfields, and that's what you got to do when you're playing back three, and it's not an easy thing to do, but look, he's gone in and done really, really well, and his performance, and I'll tell you what these last two games have done, I think, so far, and obviously we see how this game finishes out, but they put a lot of experienced players under a little bit of pressure now with performance of these young guys.
Well, I'm just looking off to our left there, the Irish supporters. I think it's probably around 500. I know there was 700 tickets available. You can understand perhaps some Irish supporters. There will be normally a massive crowd, of course, the Green Army supporting the Irish team, loyal as they are right around the world, but the way things are going at the moment with the cost of living crisis and the late, I suppose, appointment of the venue of Woodge for the Ireland-Ukraine match, it made it hard for supporters to try and scramble the money together to get to this trip, and a lot of them would have spent an awful lot of money going to Yerevan to watch the match against Armenia. So, but they are providing a brilliant support. I'm watching a lot of them on their phones at the moment. They're probably watching back that fantastic goal from Nathan Collins. If you are listening on the wireless tonight, thanks for listening in. Stephen Doyle here alongside Vinny Perth for the second half on Off the Ball, and of course with Sky, our coverage of all football and Off the Ball. Of course, Sky, the proud partner of the women's national football team, out Believe Together, and we can go anywhere. I know Vera Pauw will be announcing her squad tomorrow for that big game against Georgia, which Off the Ball will be covering for you at the end of the month in Tbilisi. So that will be interesting as the month rolls on. It could be a big month for Irish football. Of course, the under-21s beaten earlier against Italy in that final group game, but they do have a playoff match to look forward to. That will be fantastic exciting for Jim Crawford and his team. But the Irish team are back out now, the senior team, alongside Ukraine on the pitch here in Woodge. And it is Ukraine 0, Ireland 1 as the second half starts. Ukraine getting us underway in their all-blue strip tonight, and they will be playing from left to right in this second half. Ireland in their change strip, quite a controversial one with some supporters. Orange shirts, black shorts and orange socks.
I'm not having it, Stephen. I just don't like it. It's just not us.
I have to say, I'm kind of I like the old one as well, with the famous one there.
It looks like
the Macedonia
St. Kevin's
jersey
out there.
Yes, that's it indeed, yeah. Of course, a few of the Irish players will be feeling right at home in that. Darragh O'Shea, of course, that you mentioned earlier on. But there's a clearance here from the Ukraine goalkeeper, Rishnik, who'll be hoping to have a less nervier second half. We saw the Irish players take a few punts at that man making his competitive debut, like Darragh Lenihan this evening. Darragh O'Shea has just pumped a header forward, but the referee said there was a foul by Yarmolenko on the Irish defender, so it will be a free kick just inside the Ukraine half for Ireland. It's taken short by O'Shea to Cullen. Cullen then strokes that ball across the field to Lenihan. Lenihan playing on the right of the back three with Collins as the anchor, O'Shea on the left. Here is Lenihan, plays the ball over the halfway line up into deep into the Ukraine half. It's picked up though by the centre back Matvienko, and then played forward up the left wing, but it comes off an Irish shirt to Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays to Yarmolenko. He's broke down the right hand side, he's in space, he's into the box, but he's just lost control of the ball. He just flashed it across goal, and it's tapped in at the far post by Dovbyk for Ukraine. We've had an equaliser inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. Yarmolenko looked like he made a hash of that one, but somehow he got the ball around the Irish defence. He played it from the byline on this near side right across the face of goal, and coming in at the back post was Dovbyk to make it Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
Yeah, and that's been the only threat all night, was the wide strikers getting in behind us down the side, and James McLean just caught a little bit high up the pitch, and we didn't have good cover. Yarmolenko didn't cover himself in glory. Ball got stuck under him, and the three centre halves got attracted to the ball to try and stop the shot, and just left Ukraine striker in space with inside a 6-yard box. And we've undone all our good work in 1 minute and 45 seconds, and it's now 1-1, and we need to start again. So need to show a little bit of composure and just stay in the game now a little bit.
Little question of offside there on Yarmolenko when he was breaking forward. They showed, they just paused it there in the replay on our monitors here, but the referee obviously happy enough with the VAR giving him the advice that the goal was okay. So it is Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
Yeah, big test for the young players, you know, because second half that can deflate them, so it'll be interesting to see how they do, and this is what we want. We want the young players tested.
Artem Dovbyk, of course, scoring against Scotland in that playoff match. This is his second goal of this international window. As we see Shaparenko now, Ukraine's tails are up, attacking into the final third, gives it to Yarmolenko. He cuts in off the right, tackled by McLean, but he gets it off to Shaparenko, who has it once again after giving it back to Yarmolenko, and then it's all the way back to Litvinenko. Litvinenko then to Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays that ball forward to Mudryk. Passing looking a bit sharper now from Ukraine in this second half. Looks like, it's being given away by Zinchenko to Troy Parrott on the halfway line. He gets around one player, then he's dragged down by Zinchenko. Surely a yellow card. It is indeed. The referee doesn't think twice, whips out the yellow. Zinchenko taking one there for the team after giving away the ball sloppily to Troy Parrott, who broke forward with intent. He looked like he could be onto something there before the foul.
Yeah, really good play by Troy Parrott. Got himself into a good defensive position and then drove with the ball, drove at the heart of the Ukraine defence, and they couldn't do nothing but take him down on a free kick. And
it's actually Zabarny got the yellow, I should say. He actually clipped the ankles as Zinchenko went in to try and pull Parrott down. So Zabarny gets booked for that. It's a free kick taken by Josh Cullen to the far side, or this near side of the box. Tries to head it down. There was Darragh Lenihan, and then the ball bounced up for him. He has a shot with his right boot, blasted wide, it hits the side netting and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Josh Cullen again on set pieces. Our set pieces have been okay tonight, but that one just a little bit too wide, and Darragh just couldn't get that on it. And we have to rebuild again and start again, get back into a good shape and just ride out this little spell. The crowd have got up for it, and we played really well tonight. Just don't let that goal sort of get into the mindset and stay in the game for the next couple of minutes.
So Zabarny actually the first player in the book tonight, and the ball has been almost given away. It was by Mudryk, and there was Jason Malumbi putting him under pressure. Ball popped out for Josh Cullen, and then he's fouled by Shaparenko.
Yeah, Mudryk hasn't played well since he's come on, but again it was good pressure by Jason Malumbi. Again, just going in, winning the ball back for Ireland and letting us rebuild again.
Ball now it's been given away here by Cullen. He's trying to pick out Jason Knight with the pass. Actually, Troy Parrott. Ukraine have it back. Shaparenko is then tackled by Josh Cullen. Ireland have it back. It's with Knight. Knight tries to get past Zinchenko. Ball pops out then for Cullen. He tries to pass it forward, but he's fouled there, and he's down clutching his ankle in some pain here. And Zinchenko is pleading with the referee to put the yellow card back into his pocket, but it comes out for Yarmolenko, who's perhaps been walking a fine line after that first half. He had a couple of interesting tackles from the former West Ham man, and he does get the yellow card, and he's currently having a war of words there with Nathan Collins, the Irish goal scorer.
Yeah, it just looked like Yarmolenko just dived in, left a little bit on Josh Cullen, and it's definitely a yellow card. There can be no doubt about it. And look, all the players get involved and try and get the referee to calm down, but very clearly yellow card. And Yarmolenko's lucky there. It's a nasty little challenge in the back of the calf. Again, Josh Cullen given away just before that, but Ireland winning it back through Knight and Malumbi. So they're ratting the ball back. They've been very good. Need a little bit more quality from Josh Cullen. He is sitting in that sixth position where he has to make his play, and just need a little bit more quality him at times.
Ball played forward here to Parrott. He manages just about to hold on to it and gives it down to Jason Knight, who goes back to Darragh O'Shea. His pass fired forward with venom, given away to Ukraine, but it comes back now to Risnik, the goalkeeper. He launches it forward with a big right boot, and it's headed by Darragh Lenihan up in the air. Cullen then heads it to Malumbi. Malumbi chests it down, then pokes it outside to Alan Brown. He's forced to come in field just to hold on to the ball. Gives it back out to Jason Malumbi, but Malumbi couldn't reach that, and Ukraine back in possession again. But their centre-back has been stopped in his tracks by Jason Knight, who really has worked his socks off tonight. He's put in a huge effort.
Yeah, a lot of this Ireland team have, and that's the concern. Cullen playing his fourth game. Jason Knight, again, 2 games in a row in short distance, and it looks like Ukraine are a little bit fresher looking already, so hopefully Stephen won't wait too long. I think he's got to be brave with substitutions in this game.
And that's a really good play there by Darragh O'Shea, muscling the goal scorer Dovbyk off the ball as he tried to chase a pass down that right wing. Great defending by the Irishman. Yarmolenko takes the throw in, gives it to Karavayev, the full-back, in a very advanced position. Now it's Yarmolenko, tries a fancy back heel there to get past James McLean, but he's forced to pass back to Shaparenko. Then it's to Sidorchuk, who gives the ball away. Jason Knight comes away with it. He's run past Sidorchuk. Then Zinchenko goes in, tackles him, but it pops out for Jason Malumbi. Then it's given to Josh Cullen. Cullen then gets it back to Lenihan, and then Lenihan has to fire that ball long under pressure there from a Ukraine attacker. The ball headed down by Matvienko to Mikalenko. Then it's inside to Sidorchuk. Dynamo Kiev midfielder there, a real solid presence for Ukraine. The ball now with Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko, left-footed pass across the halfway line, just a little bit further back to Matvienko.
We just settled down a little bit since that goal has gone in. We've got back into our shape. We're 5-3-2, and just Ukraine are having a bit of the ball, but Ireland at times are forcing them back and waiting for the trigger. It's been decent so far since the goal has gone in.
Ball now with Zarabini, and it's back to the goalkeeper Riznik. Zarabni once again back to Riznik, and there's a few gasps there from the Ukraine supporters as he played that out to it was to Sidorchuk coming into the left back position because Mikalenko's further afield. He receives the ball now. The Everton man then plays it inside to Shaparenko. Shaparenko across to the right wing to Yarmolenko. He's running now, another one of those back heels around his left boot, and then comes in field, then plays across to Mikalenko. Mikalenko lost the ball into the box, headed away by Collins. No nonsense there from the Irishman, and then the ball bobbling around in the box here before Cullen whips it away with his right boot, picked up on the halfway line by Matvienko. Matvienko now to Mikalenko, and Mikalenko just in off the touchline. 55 minutes on the clock. It's Ireland 1, Ukraine 1, and the ball's been crossed here by Mudryk from the byline, but it's just gone out of play, I think, before he kicked it. Caoimhín Kelleher punches it over the bar.
Yeah, I think the ball's gone out of play, and that's that little run we spoke about a couple of times in the first half. They've done it to us both sides, so Alan Brown just getting attracted to the ball, and then Mudryk just making that, again, showing to feet and then spinning in behind.
And he did keep it in play crucially, so Kelleher's
it is a corner
punch over the crossbar was a vital one. A corner kick now to Ukraine.
Interesting, they obviously spot a little weakness in Ireland. It's something they've worked on by the looks of it. So,
well, in fact, he gave the goal kick, but I have to say in the replay it looked like Mudryk kept that in, I have to say, but I think he felt maybe that it bent out of play before Kelleher had to punch that over. So the goal kick's taken anyway, and now it's Karavayev battling away there with Scott Hogan for the ball, gets it across to Matvienko, and then he goes back to his goalkeeper Riznik. Now it's with Mikalenko. Mikalenko still deep inside his own half, just kept honest there by the advancing Alan Brown. Goes across to Matvienko. Matvienko to Sabani, and then the ball is played forwards, and it's running onto this is the goal scorer Dovbyk, and then it goes out of play for a goal kick to Ireland.
Yeah, really good defending again from Ireland. I think we need a change. I see Callum Robinson. Yeah,
you're right there. Callum Robinson is about to come on. Scott Hogan, the man he will replace, and Hogan perhaps
no, it hasn't really worked from tonight. Look, he's worked hard, he showed a bit of endeavour, but just his whole of play hasn't been good enough, and I think he'd be very disappointed with his performance by and large. But good substitution. The one I fear for a little bit is Josh Cullen. Just looks like he's running out of legs a little bit. Obviously this is his fourth game in a row at the end of a long hard season, so I would have liked to see that freshened up. But look, I think Callum will definitely give us running power, and probably feel he's something to prove. Which is a good thing about this Ireland side now.
Yeah, he's left out of the starting team for the Scotland match. Came on for 7 minutes in that game, but he's on now in the 57th minute for Ireland, who are 1-1 here with Ukraine. Collins with the goal for Ireland in the first half, but an equaliser scored within 2 minutes of the restart by Dovbyk, and that's how it remains. Stephen Doyle here alongside Vinny Perth, live on Off the Ball. The ball now with Ukraine. Mikalenko deep inside the Irish half, but goes back to his own half to Matvienko, and the ball now with the other centre back Sabarny, and now it's played forward to Dovbyk. Chests it down, Shaparenko runs onto it, James McLean wins it back. Shaparenko down in the heat, claims he was fouled, but the ball's been played forward by Ireland. That's now with Troy Parrott running down the left wing, cuts in field. He's got options on the right hand side, but it's cut out by Mudryk. That ball from Troy Parrott, not a good one and he clenches his fist in frustration, but it's been Zinchenko now running forward for Ukraine, tries to pick out Mudryk with the pass, but it's a poor one again from the Man City man. He's had a few of those tonight, a bit like Josh Cullen. Parrott now down the inside left channel, he's got Robinson in support, he gets it to Robinson on the edge of the box. He has to play it outside to McLean, but Zinchenko's there to make amends for that mistake. Wins it back for Ukraine. They're still deep inside their own half. All the orange Irish shirts pressing them high up.
Yeah, Robinson just come onto the pitch there, and that's where we need a little bit more quality from. He's come on because obviously Scott Brown hasn't done enough in the manager's eyes, so we need Callum Robinson show a little bit more quality there. And just before that, Troy Parrott, that's where Troy needs to improve. He has flashes of brilliant, but that's that crossfield ball just cut out too easily. He just needs to improve that little area to go up to the next level in his game. So Ireland set back into the shape now. Ukraine having a good bit of the ball again.
I think the other interesting thing as well, Vinny, Ali Palabiyik is our referee tonight, a 40-year-old from Ankara in Turkey, and he really has let the game flow. It's something Stephen Kenny mentioned about the first game, that the referee is very picky. We'll come back to that. Here's Callum Robinson receiving the ball from Jason Malumbi. He's down the left-hand side. He's surrounded by a couple of blue shirts. Gives it back to James McLean. McLean now to Cullen. They're inside the final third of the pitch here. It's back to Jason Knight, and Jason Knight then back towards the halfway line. Darragh Lenihan just inside the half, gives it to Collins. Collins now to Cullen. Cullen to Malumbi. Malumbi outside to McLean. Ireland with a good spell of passing here. It's to Callum Robinson now to Troy Parrott on the edge of the box. Can he find the pocket to shoot? Hits it with his left boot. Comes off the defender, out for a corner kick. Troy Parrott was trying to get that on his right boot. Got it on his left. Hit a really good effort, but it's deflected wide and for a corner kick.
Yeah, great Irish play. Playing through the lines, being patient, not forcing and not putting balls into the box when there's no one there. Just going from side to side. Good play by Callum Robinson there. Much better link-up play. Getting it to Troy Parrott. And really clever play from Troy, creating a little half a yard, getting a shot off deflection and corner for Ireland.
Just the third of the match, Ireland's first. McLean hits it an outstring with the left boot. Glennon heads it down, but it's cleared away off the 6-yard line by Matvienko. Pops out on the right wing for Jason Malumbi, who tries to get a cross in, but it's a really good tackle by Mudryk, who didn't play so well when he came off the bench, but he's really grown into this game for Ukraine as we approach the hour mark. It is a throw into Ireland on the far side, down near the corner flag at the Ukraine end.
Yeah, it's important to say Ireland have settled now. They've had a good spell in the last 5 minutes where the goal could have really affected them mentally, but now they've got back into this game. They're playing quite well, and just a little bit more quality in the final third. We may have another chance. This has been a good performance, albeit at first 4 minute 45 seconds.
Well, the throw in is then crossed in by Collins, who leaps high in the box, claims he was pulled down by Ukraine centre back there, but referee says no dice. But Ireland are back in possession with the advancing Darragh O'Shea coming forward to win the ball back. Gives it to McLean on the left wing. McLean just with a stuttering run forward. He can't see any options. Gives it to Jason Knight. He comes in off the left wing, has a shot at the goalkeeper from about 25 yards, but the Riznik, making his competitive debut, dives to his right, and this time he holds on to the ball. Decent save there by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, but it's good play. I don't think he was overly troubled, but good, brave play by Jason Knight, picking the ball up, driving at the Ukraine defence and taking a shot from the guts of 25 yards. Keeper comfortable. We just seen just before that set piece from the throw-in. Spoke about sending the big centre half up. Nathan Collins going short from the throw, having big Nathan Collins in the box. Unlucky. Here's Ukraine again.
It's Mikolenko outside to Mudryk. He's into the box. Back to Mikolenko. Flashed it across the goal. And there wasn't a man in a blue shirt just to toe that ball into the goal. And it was a little bit like the chance which the first goal came from for Ukraine, which was tapped in at the back post by Dovbyk. He was coming in a more central position this time, but he was blocked off there by some good Irish defending this time, unlike the first goal. And it remains Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
Yeah, it's a really, really good game. Both teams now are going for the winner. Good 30 minutes left. But again, ball up to Callum Robinson. We've got to do better. We're crying out for someone to hold the ball up for us a little bit better. There was a number 9 on the bench called Keane. Maybe he could have came on and given us a bit more of a platform. We need more from Callum Robinson. We probably expect a higher standard from him. He had such a good run previously before this campaign, or this sort of mini set of matches came together, and he just hasn't hit the ground running for us since he's come into this camp.
Well, if you didn't catch it earlier, Scotland were 4-1 winners against 10-man Armenia in Yerevan earlier this afternoon, also in Group B1 of the Nations League. So it means, as it stands, Ireland on 4 points, just 2 points behind Scotland and 3 behind the leaders Ukraine, as it stands, with both Ireland and Ukraine winning a point. Armenia at the bottom with 3.
Yeah, just got to be careful of a midfield three. Huge amount of work in this system. They need to get out to the Ukraine wide men's at different stages. Just got to be careful of that. Again, Josh Cullen done really well that time to win the ball back, but misplaced pass, and Ukraine again pick it up and dominate the ball again for the next minute or two.
Malumbi was trying to run away with it there, but Mudryk won it back, and then the cross being put in. Well, it's been switched from left to right, and it's cushioned down by Karavayev, and then it's Yarmolenko chips that ball into the box. Zinchenko picks it up. He goes down to his knees, claiming he was hauled down, looking for a penalty. No way, says the referee. Collins was the man who pulled him down. Well, he said pull him down, but Collins now has passed the ball to Malumbi, left it a bit short, and the referee says play on. Ukraine have the ball, and it's down the edge of the box. It's with Dovbyk, and Collins gets an important block in there, pokes it away, but it's now popped out to Karavayev, but the referee's blown up. He's seen an infringement there on one of the Irish players. No, in fact, it's actually an offside there, we've seen from the assistant referee. So free kick to Ireland, just to relieve the pressure, because it was coming on there, Vinny.
Yeah, a lot of pressure from Ukraine, and we won it back, and Nathan Collins done really well there, won the ball back for us, but again, just a little bit overconfident and trying to pick a pass out to Malumbi. We've got to be more care in our passes. We're playing at a really high level here, and top players will punish you, and that's the learning curve for these young Irish players. There's a time and a place to play, but yeah, look, Ukraine are coming on strong, but Ireland in this game equally, I have to say it's been a good performance from us so far.
Here is Ukraine now. There's a ball being played forward here to Dovbyk, the goal scorer, but Collins beats him in the race and plays the ball out to Darragh O'Shea.
Oh, brilliant by Collins, I have to say, really brilliant from him there, just so composed on the ball.
I was saying at half time, Vinny, his games for Burnley this season, how he just seems to read the game so well. Shaparenko now attacking for Ukraine, the inside left channel, gets towards the edge of the box, and Alan Brown comes in there with a no-nonsense tackle, and you can see why the referee gives the free kick there and the yellow card to Alan Brown. He just had to do it because Shaparenko was really attacking with intent.
I'm not sure you could hear me, but I feel like shouting at Stephen like the old days and say, we need to make a change here, we need to freshen the team up. It's not that anyone has played overly bad, we just need fresh legs in there, starting to tire a bit, and Ukraine are starting to dominate now, and this is a dangerous set piece for them. We've got to get a bit more energy and legs into this team.
And it's humid as well, Vinny. You can see the sweat on the players, even though the temperature is not high, it is humid, and that really saps your energy. But the free kick now, it's a very dangerous one here. Shaparenko fancies this with his right foot. It's just off to Caoimhín Kelleher's right, and about a yard outside the box now. Shaparenko's just placed the ball here. The referee out with the foam spray, pushing the Irish wall back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Irishmen in the wall. Josh Cullen then just to their left. Zinchenko standing over this as well. He could whip it in with his left boot. Shaparenko hits it low and tries to get it through the wall. It's squirted out. Yarmolenko thought he might have a shot on goal, but somehow Ireland managed to clear it away.
Yeah, I think the Irish wall done quite well there and got a little bit of luck they probably deserved. So could have fallen to Yarmolenko, but got a little bit of luck they deserve. And again, Ireland cleared the ball away and deservedly so. It wasn't a good free kick.
I was going back to the referee Ali Palabeyek, because it was interesting. Stephen Kenny said in the pre-match press conference, so last week's referee was so fussy that he felt it disrupted Ireland's performance, whereas he felt the referee in the Scotland game let the game play. He was allowing tackles, unlike the referee in the match against Ukraine last week in Dublin, and you could say the same for the referee tonight. He really has let things go.
I think the Scottish midfield let us play as well, to be fair, so that's slightly the difference. Look, Ireland need to make this change. Stephen must have heard me, but Jeff Hendrick and Conor Hourihane come into that midfield. You'd imagine for Cullen and Knight is my initial thought. We'll see now.
It is Jeff Hendrick and Conor Hourihane coming onto the field of play, and it is Knight who comes off, and we're just waiting on confirmation then of who's coming off. It is Jason Malumbi's number who goes up.
Yeah, surprised by that a little bit. Jason hasn't looked like short of energy, so but at the same time I think two very experienced players and good football as well coming onto the pitch.
Yeah, so Conor Hourihane and Jeff Hendrick.
Big shift needed from Cullen in that position now as a result of those two changes in terms of he's going to play, well, looks like he's going to play 4 full games in a row. Really strong from him.
That double substitution for Ireland coming in the 67th minute. It is Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
So we've 2 more changes, but just 1 more stop left in the game under the new rules. So I think we could do with more legs, but no panic yet. Let's get through the next sort of 10-15 minutes, and this wouldn't be a bad result if it stays like this, but the performance has been good.
Yeah, and we know the 5-sub rule has been used throughout Europe, not in the Premier League, it was used in the League of Ireland as well, and in European competitions, but of course the International Football Association Board decided to make it official this week, so that is the rules as we go on from here. But it is Ukraine in action here in Łódź, drawing 1-1 with Ireland. Mudryk on the ball now, he spins away from Jeff Hendrick, plays the ball out left to Mikalenko just shuffles the ball inside to Shaparenko, picks out Yarmolenko now, 20 yards from goal, tries to set up Sidorchuk, but Sidorchuk loses possession, gives Ireland a chance to counter-attack. 1-2 between Troy Parrott and Callum Robinson. Robinson's pass comes off the back of a blue shirt, and it comes back though to Dara Lenihan after Josh Cullen intervened to win it back for Ireland. And now it's all the way back to Caoimhín Kelleher. Pops a forward pass out to Collins. Collins has to go back to Kelleher under real pressure from Ukraine there, because they're pressing high up the field here. They're not giving the Irish defence much time on the ball. Jeff Hendrick now.
Much better from Callum Robinson. Won the first header, and that puts us on the front foot.
Here's Alan Brown taking the pass from Hendrick. Plays it inside to Harahan, running into space. Has a shot with his left boot. We know Harahan can hit them from distance. We've seen them doing it for Aston Villa so many times, but this one just drifts over the bar. No trouble there for Rishnik, but I'm sure that perhaps is what Stephen Kenny was thinking with the Conor Harahan substitution. We know he can score long range goals, and this keeper is dodgy.
Yeah, and to be fair, Jeff Hendrick has come on and made a big difference. He's just made 3-4 simple passes, but Hurahan probably should have went to Robinson. We had an overload the other side, but hard when you've just come on, it opens up like that. You're so tempted to strike the ball, and as you know, I really rate Conor Hurahan. I think he's a really, really good player, and he's one of those just under the radar, this Irish team, and a big option off the bench. So playing really, really well now. Again, we've settled back into it. The changes, it looks like, are starting to take effect.
Of course, he is a free agent now as well, Conor Harahan, after being released by Aston Villa. Of course, had a loan spell with Sheffield United last season. But,
you'd imagine he'd be snapped up, particularly at championship level.
Absolutely. Well, Shaparenko's just snapped up the ball here, and he tried to give it to Zinchenko, gives it away again to Hendrick. Hendrick forward to Parrott, and Parrott almost had that ball scooped into the box by his right boot, but he just let it get away from him. And
really unlucky by Jeff Hendrick. Really, really unlucky. He's made a lot of them balls in this whole transfer window where they've almost come off, and he's been a little bit criticised, a little bit too much in my eyes. Some of his forward passes have been really, really good at times. Just unlucky there, and they'll go down as a misplaced pass, but it's actually just good defending.
Here is Zinchenko now. Zinchenko, this time his pass does come off to Mudryk. He's into the box. Can he pull it back? His second touch was awful. It took it out over the touchline, or the byline I should say, and Mudryk really had a chance there to kill Ireland off with that goal chance, because it was a superb chance. He was down at the byline. The second touch just took it out for a goal kick, but Ireland really were in a dangerous situation there, Vinny.
Yeah, Zinchenko just found himself between the lines, and that's where it's coming from. Josh Cullen just running out legs a little bit, but thankfully Mudryk got the commentator's course, because we spoke up about him before when he came on. Said he was a really, really exciting player. Well, he's been poor tonight, thankfully, from an Irish point of view.
And Zinchenko as well. We're just going to see Sikan as well coming on for Ukraine. I can see him stripped off there on the touchline, but Zinchenko's passing has been really poor tonight as well, as one of their best players. Of course, Premier League champion with Manchester City this season.
Yeah, they've been off a little bit, but what I will say, any player who's played sort of that English season, this fourth game into this window has been really tough. It's been a long, long, hard season for them, and the players will be glad to see the back of this. From an Irish point of view, hopefully our players can stay at it for another 19-20 minutes of this so-called English season, if that makes sense. So it's been a long window for them.
So it's Ukraine in possession. Shaparenko plays it outside to Mikalenko, and then it's that forward ball again, looking for Mudryk to run onto it, but again it goes out of play, and Ukraine will perhaps make those two changes. It is still Ukraine 1, Ireland 1, 72 minutes on the clock here in this fourth round of UEFA Nations League matches in Group B1. It is a fourth round, of course, for Ireland. Ukraine having played Scotland in that World Cup playoff, making just their third appearance in this campaign. So Matvienko is replaced by Popov at centre back. That's just a like-for-like change. Denis Popov, a Dynamo Kiev player, 23 years of age. And then it is the man who scored the equalising goal, Dovbyk, going off for Ukraine, and he's replaced by Danilo Sikan, who plays for Hasna Rostock in the Championship, or I should say the Bundesliga 2, which is their version of the English Championship, the second tier of German football. And it is clearance out from Caoimhín Kelleher. Cullen heads it out to James McLean. McLean plays that ball forward to Callum Robinson, wins the free kick for Ireland.
Yeah, better by Callum Robinson again. Good play. James McLean, his passing has been very good. Anything he's had to do, he hasn't been a real attacking threat, but we didn't need that tonight. It's a different type of performance, and James again, as captain of his country, has done really, really well for us.
So free kick to Ireland, just as we go into the last 16 minutes of the action in Łódź in Poland. Ball by Harahan across to Lenihan. Lenihan now strokes that ball, a long diagonal pass into the box, chested down by Karavayev, trying to play out from the back here. He's under pressure, plays the ball across to Zabarny, and now it's all the way out to Mikolenko. Mikolenko goes back to Popov, the substitute, getting his first touch. Back out to Mikolenko and inside to Sidorchuk. He tries to play a long ball over the top, and then it's just bounces up off the side, chested down by Caoimhín Kelleher, who then surveys his options out the field. He picks out Harahan.
Yeah, that's down to our good shape. To be fair, Stephen, Ireland have got into a really good shape tonight. They've not had all of the ball, but here's a chance again.
Hendrick plays a good ball to Robinson. Robinson runs over it, leaves it there for Conor Harahan. He's attacking now with James McLean on his outside on the left wing, tries to put a cross in. It comes off the backside of Karavayev and out for a throw in. But as you say, Vinny, some great passes being played here by Jeff Hendrick.
Yeah, he's being criticised a lot, but that's really good play for him. He's come on, his forward pass is generally really good for me, and Conor Harahan shown good energy there and lucky with the cross. And Ireland aren't sitting back and soaking up lots of pressure, albeit Ukraine have a lot of the ball, but Ireland look more of an attacking threat, I would say, than Ukraine.
Ireland lost possession from that throw-in, but they've won it back again. It's Harahan out to Robinson on the left. Again, across from an Irish player, blocked away by Karavayev. Robinson takes the throw-in really quickly here to McLean. McLean gets past Yarmolenko as he comes in field and then passes back to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea inside to Collins, forward to Cullen and then back to O'Shea. O'Shea coming forward on that left centre-back position on his right boot, then plays the ball out right to Brown. Brown cushions it into Hendrick, tries to cross it in there, but it's met there by Zarabini and then cleared away. But Troy Parrott was hoping to go in and meet that cross there. It was a decent effort by Hendrick.
And now centre forward gets across the front. Again, really good play by Jeff Hendrick, but Troy Parrott's got a gamble, get across the front post. You just never know, just swing a leg at it. And it's good play from Dara O'Shea with a brilliant ball across field. Jeff Hendrick gets in behind him, and that's unlucky from Ireland. That's good play. And out now, Robbie Keenan's day would have been getting across that front post, that's for sure.
It's incredible. Three centre-backs there, Collins, Lenihan and O'Shea, who have all showed brilliant long-range passing this evening. 75 minutes now, Ukraine 1, Ireland 1. It's Shaparenko. Floats that ball out to the right-hand side from centre field to Yarmolenko. He can't hold on to it. James McLean picks it up for Ireland. He could have perhaps taken a bit more time. Fires that out, cues off the outside of his boot and goes out for a throw into Ukraine. It's taken by Shaparenko to Yarmolenko. Inside now to Sidorchuk. Shaparenko now just coming out of the centre circle inside the Irish half. Plays the ball out to Mikolenko. Mikolenko has Mudryk on his outside, but instead gives it inside to Shaparenko. Now it's with Yarmolenko coming towards the edge of the Irish box. Couple of step overs outside to Karavayev, puts the cross in, headed away by Lenihan. Brilliant header. Troy Parrott then heads it on further, looking for Robinson, but it's picked up then by Sidorchuk, and then back to Zabarny, and then all the way back to the goalkeeper Rishnik, who's about 25 yards off his line here, but gives a safe pass then to Zabarny once again. It's outside to Karavayev, and then back inside to Zabarny. Ukraine just holding on to possession here. Back tonight they've had 60% of the ball compared to 40% for Ireland. Ireland though having more attempts so far this evening, 9 attempts on goal, 3 on target, which is the same as Ukraine, but they've only had 7 attempts. Here's Dara O'Shea popping that ball up in the air. Troy Parrott's now battling away. Shaparenko heads it down to Hendrick. Hendrick comes forward, heads that ball to Paris. He almost gives it away, but it falls luckily for him to Harahan. Howran now to McLean, whips in across on the left. It's dealt with easily though by Zabarny, and now Sidorchuk showing some good skill to get around Howran, but gives the ball away to McLean. McLean short pass to Cullen. Cullen has 2 blue shirts around him, passes back to Collins. Collins on the edge of the circle in the Irish half, gives it then to Lenihan. Darragh O'Shea just drifting out left to the full back position. Collins and Lenihan holding the centre of the defence. O'Shea then floats the ball forward to Parrott, but it's cut out there by Sidorchuk, helping out his defence, and then the ball eventually put out of play for an Irish throw.
The pass didn't come off, Stephen, but it's a really good idea by Darragh O'Shea, and Troy Parrott's run is excellent, starting in the centre forward position, trying to run in behind the centre half. Good defending by Ukraine, but you would say there's nothing wrong with that. Pins Ukraine back a little bit from a defensive point of view when they're worried about that ball in behind for one of our strikers. Good play from Ireland again. We're having some good passages. We're right in this game. You wouldn't say it's a performance where, you know, we're hanging on, we're trying to survive in this game. You would say it's quite an even game. You would probably argue that Ukraine would be most likely to go on and win from this stage, but Ireland are right in this game, and as I keep saying, good performance, and the substitutes now have started to make a big difference, giving us a bit of energy, but Ukraine doing really well.
Zinchenko's just been booked by the referee, so he will miss Ukraine's next fixture in the Nations League. That's against Scotland away from home on the 21st of September. They'll finish off then against Armenia away, and then in which we expect against Scotland. Ireland will only have 2 fixtures after this in the Nations League. Scotland away from home in September before they host Armenia. Here's Ukraine now attacking down the left-hand side. Mikolenko comes back to Shaparenko. Shaparenko just level with the edge of the Irish box, plays it back to Zinchenko. He scoops the ball out to the right-hand side for Karavayev to run onto, but he can't keep it in play. That's gone out for a goal kick, and it will be Caoimhín Kelleher to launch that one up forward for Ireland. We're up to 80 minutes now in Wuch, and it is Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
Yeah, despite the noise, I think Ireland done quite well about getting the shape back there once Ukraine attacked. The crowd got up for it, but Ireland got into a good shape, and again, Zinchenko's misplaced pass, he tried that sort of daisy cutter one and just ran out play, thankfully, from an Irish point of view. So yeah, Zinchenko looks really frustrated, that's why he got the booking. Troy Parrott coming off, he's been excellent for me tonight. Really good, strong performance.
Well, he has been replaced in the 80th minute by Chidozie Ogbene, so Troy Parrott is off, Ogbene is on. He's got 10 minutes plus change to try and get a winning goal here for Ireland in the Nations League. It would be a fantastic return of 6 points if Ireland were to take it from their final 2 games of this series, having lost against Armenia and against Ukraine. I kept saying over the last week, Vinny, as well, Ireland only beaten by a goal to nil. It wasn't like they were hammered by any of those teams. I know a lot of people were frustrated with the performances. That's understandable. When you're only losing by an odd goal as well, it's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's fine margins, but look, we can't get away. The 2 performances weren't very good, and here's it.
Benny now attacking down the inside left. Ukraine are giving the ball away. It's outside to Howran. Howran now by the end line, plays it back to McLean. McLean's cross scooped up in the air, and Alan Brown was trying to get up and head that down, but it came off his cheek and out of the pitch, and then Mudryk went to get it, and as he was trying to get Ireland on the counter-attack, Darragh Lenihan, it was a little bit I like the way Chiellini in the Euro 2020 final grabbed Bukayo Saka just by the collar and whipped him back, and no doubt about the yellow card there for Darragh Lenihan on his competitive debut.
Yeah, I love seeing one fullback crossing to another fullback, or wingbacks in this case, but Darragh Lenihan, Andy Farrell will be happy with that in the All Blacks tour.
He got him with the feet and with the collar as well, just to make sure, but yeah, it's one of those, your coaches will tell you if the player's going to counter-attack there, if you can't take the ball, if you take the man. And it is a free kick to get us back underway inside the last 8 minutes now of the action. Ireland trying to get that ball forward, a header by Darragh O'Shea. Now he went up over his Ukraine opponent and he fell on the ground really awkwardly there. He stayed down on the turf. He's just popped his head up now and just blown his cheeks.
If he played for Jude's, he's probably used to a lot of them falls, so he'll be okay, I think. And look, it looks worse than it is. The Ukrainian player was caught under him and he falls over him. But yeah, Darragh O'Shea, like you said, that back three, wow, we're not short of centre halves, are we, in this country now?
Yeah, and centre halves, they can tackle and they can pass. There's a pass up the left wing, or the right wing I should say, by Alan Brown there. Has had a really good game as well for Ireland.
A lot of talk of Darragh Lenihan, by the way, going to Middlesbrough as well. I think that deal might be done over the next week. Interesting. So obviously Middlesbrough look like to spend to try and get back into the Premiership, and you see Darragh Lenihan as somebody that could help them do that. So that would be a good move, you would think, from.
Yeah, and of course Nathan Collins has been linked with Leeds United and Newcastle United, although he does have 3 years left on his contract with Burnley. They will be keen to try and hold on to him as well, especially if they're letting go of James Tarkowski to Everton. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah,
here's Callum Robinson now to throw in for Ireland. Gets it down the left hand side. Benny goes out to try and meet it. He's beaten there to it though by Zabarny, and Zabarny then clears that ball away, but only as far as Cullen. Cullen gets it forward to Ogbene. Ogbene back to Cullen. Cullen now to Ogbene. Can he get a shot away? No, he can't. It's taken off his toes. It's now Yarmolenko who's deep in his own half, has to go back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, good chance for Cullen there. Just switch the play, tried to go back into Benya's feet. 4 or 5 Ukrainian players around him, and I just wish Josh Cullen could add that pass to his game. 34, anything over 30-40 yards, he doesn't tend to make that long pass, and he needs to do that as he develops in the game. Come in, get it off one side, right hand side, and switch it to the left. Just a ball he needs to add to his game.
Yeah, Cullen trying to perfect his game at Anderlecht. Of course, he made 40 appearances in the Super League last season for them, played a few times in the European Conference League as well. Here's Ukraine now in possession. The ball played by Shaparenko back to Sidorchuk on the halfway line. He then gives it off to Popov. Popov now to Zabarny. Zabarny striding forward into the Irish half. Plays it out right to Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko with Harahan for company. James McLean deeper as well, just to keep an eye on him. It's played inside to Zinchenko. He tries to pick out Mudryk in the box, but it's cleared away by Lenihan. Lenihan to Harahan. Harahan to Robinson. Robinson tries to pick it out. Benny with a good pass forward, but the goalkeeper saw the danger. He had to come way off his line there to stop Benny counter-attacking there for Ireland. It's now with Ukraine once again. It's been laid off here to Shaparenko. Shaparenko to Zinchenko. Zinchenko outside to Yarmolenko. On the overlap here is Karavayev, puts the cross in, but it's headed away and it's Zinchenko there was tackled by James McLean inside the box, but it was a really good header. I was trying to pick out the Irish player there who came across there with a superb diving header, and my view just blocked there at the crucial moment.
Yeah, it was that man again, Nathan Collins getting across the front post. James McLean looks like he's running on empty at the moment, and I'll tell you, if James is, then we have you know he's put a shift in, and it just one of them. The ball fell to Zinchenko and he came out to close him down, and it's one of them where when you're tired you risk at giving away a penalty, and thankfully just about got the toe there in time.
Here is Collins now, just getting the ball off the toe of the Ukraine substitute Sikan.
Brilliant by Collins. Imagine the Collins family tonight. His dad Davey played with Cherry Orchard, went on to Liverpool, played with Oxford as well. His uncle Eamon, steeped in Irish football history. His uncle is also a scout, I think, at Man City, involved with Cherry Orchard for many years. He's a younger brother playing with UCD. Imagine how proud they are tonight watching one of their own putting in just an amazing performance. The heart of the Irish defence and everyone down in Cherry Orchard. He started there under 7, left at 16.5. They must be so proud of him.
Here's Shaparenko now attacking inside left for Ukraine, plays it outside to Mikolenko. He pulls the ball back. There's Collins again on the edge of the 6-yard area, clearing that ball away. Comes out to Shaparenko. I said earlier, he reads the game so well. He's always in the right place at the right time, and that's not luck.
No, right on cue, Stephen, right on cue. Brilliant.
Yeah. Shaparenko switches play to Karavayev on the right hand side, and Yarmolenko chips the ball in. Darragh Lenihan chipping in with the defensive effort, heads that ball away. It's now with Callum Robinson. Ireland get a chance to attack here with just 4 minutes left in Łódź, where it is Ukraine 1, Ireland 1. Collins scoring the goal in the first half for Ireland. There was an equaliser inside 2 minutes after the restart from Dovbyk, who has since left the field after being subbed off for Ukraine. Here's Jeff Hendrick on the ball. He's come very deep inside the Irish half, plays it back to Collins. Collins now gives it to O'Shea. O'Shea finds McLean. McLean now forced back to the halfway line and forced back to Darragh O'Shea.
But that passage of play just here now proves what Stephen Kenny's all about. No, 86 minutes gone, 1-1 away from home. No panic, keep the ball, not for passing sake, and just build through the phases slowly. and not panic, no long balls, no over the head, nobody looking at him. Good play by Ireland.
O'Shea now, forward pass here to Conor Harahan. He picks out Robinson in the box. Benny's looking for it in the centre of the box, tries to have a shot. It's saved by the goalkeeper. Benny looks really frustrated there with Callum Robinson.
Jeff Hendrick is even more frustrated at the back post. It's brilliant play. It would have been a great goal. Maybe 20-30 passes. Jeff Hendrick is at the back post free, and Callum Robinson's got to pick him out. That was a big moment for him, and that was the winning of the game. If Callum Robinson had just stood one up back post, Jeff Hendrick headed from about 2 yards unmarked. Really, really good play from Ireland there.
It was too tight for a shot. The angle was too tight for a shot there for left footer. He had a Benny in the middle, but as Vinny says there, I didn't even spot it there until the last minute. Hendrick at the back post. He could have just, as Vinny says, stood that one up. But it's Harahan now on the ball. He was the man who got that little attacking move going there in the Ukraine box. It's now with Alan Brown. Alan Brown heavily involved as well in the build-up off the right wing. Here's Robinson. Robinson to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea now strokes that ball out to the left-hand side to James McLean. Tees up the cross. It comes off the back of Karavayev, and then Sidorchuk clears it away, but only as far as O'Shea. He nods the ball out to Harahan on the left wing. Harahan back inside to Jason Knight, or I should say Josh Cullen. Cullen then tries to play the ball to James McLean. Well, it was actually Harahan to McLean.
Yeah, just
and
a
that ball goes out.
misunderstanding. But that last couple of minutes is really composed, really good play. Something, this Irish side you can be very proud of. Again, brilliant by Nathan Collins.
Here he is inside the Ukraine half now. He's not going on a forward run like we saw for the goal on the half-hour mark. He goes back to Lenihan.
Do you reckon there's much of a debate for man of the match tonight?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Vinny. If we were given one, I definitely would give it to Collins myself. But you're the expert. Here's Jeff Hendrick. Hendrick now to Ogbene. Ogbene tries to pick out Robinson in the box, but that ball is just hooked away by the right boot of Zabarny. It's picked up by James McLean. James McLean level with the edge of the box, back to O'Shea. O'Shea then tries to pick out someone at the back post, but Riznik gets up to claim that for Ukraine and immediately rolls it out to Mudryk. Mudryk trying to counter-attack here for the men in blue. He's over the halfway line, tries to poke that ball forward to Zinchenko through the legs of Josh Cullen, but it doesn't come off. Ireland have it back. It's with Ogbene. Ogbene on the halfway line. He's into the Ukraine half now. James McLean, he's running out of gas, as Vinny says. He has to play that ball back to Dara O'Shea.
Huge credit though, Stephen, to this Irish team. They've kept going and a brilliant recovery run from Josh Cullen. He may not got anything on the ball, but he forced the Ukrainian player into mistake. Turnover for Ireland.
Cullen with a lovely ball dinked into Ogbene there, but he's just muscled off it there by it was Mikalenko, I think, the left back, and the ball has been fired forward here. And it's cushioned down by O'Shea to Harahan. Harahan then, good little pass inside to McLean. McLean coming infield here, tries to find Hendrick. Hendrick perhaps should have came to meet it, but he was beaten there by Zabarny. And then he plays it forward to Mudryk. Mudryk then gets around Dara O'Shea. Mudryk's on the edge of the box, plays it to Yarmolenko. Can't get the ball out from under his feet, pokes it forward. Mudryk couldn't get there. Queeveen Geller comes out off his line, dives on top of the ball with great relief there for Ireland. It could have been a second goal for Ukraine. They were threatening.
Yeah, but Ireland got 6 good bodies around the ball to help and put Yarmolenko under a bit of pressure. Unfortunate there, because Alan Brown had got himself forward. Ireland were being brave, getting the wing backs high up the pitch. Ball broke to Mudra, and he drove at the heart of the Irish defence, but just about smothered the shot there, nothing more. I feel that Ireland deserve. We're a minute into 2 minutes of injury time. This would be a good result for Ireland. Really strong performance. There's times tonight where it's as good as I've seen from this Irish team.
Yeah, you have to say a very evenly balanced game. We're going to have 2 minutes added on. We've had a minute of that, so time ticking away here for either side to find a winner. It has been an evenly balanced match, and you could say Ireland perhaps having the better of the chance in the first half, Ukraine perhaps the better of the chances in the second half. As we see Kelleher now scoop that ball out with his right boot. It's up to Robinson. He's beaten in the air by Popov, but Harahan gets there to head the ball to Jeff Hendrick. Hendrick now outside to Ogbene. He's just trotting towards the Ukraine box, gives it to Harahan. He's trying to team up here. Harahan now to McLean. Will he have a shot? No, he gives it to Robinson. Robinson towards the byline, tries to clip that ball back for Ogbene, but it's headed away by Mikalenko inside the box, and then it looks like it might be headed out for a corner kick here for Ireland as the green smoke descends onto the pitch in Woolwich. There's a big green flare going off on the Irish end. The Green Army, they'll be happy with a point tonight as we see Robinson put the cross in. Hendrick then tees up Harahan. He goes down in the box looking for a penalty. penalty? No, says the Turkish referee, and instead I think he is going to blow his full-time whistle. He certainly does. It is full-time in Łódź. It's finished. Ukraine 1, Ireland 1. It's been an excellent match here, you have to say, this evening. The referee's just touched his earpiece, I think, to indicate that he might be just listening. No, I think just on the replay we've seen there, you can't say that's going to be a penalty kick for Ireland, so it will finish all square. It has been a really entertaining game. Ireland have put in a fantastic performance here. Their shirts are absolutely dripping with sweat here, just to demonstrate the work rate that every single Irish player has put in here to a man. 14 players playing tonight, 4 players coming on in the second half, I should say 15. But Ireland, of course, taking the lead with that dazzling goal by Nathan Collins, his first ever international goal on the night he wins his 6th cap. An incredible goal. George Best, Franz Beckenbauer, call it what you like, dribbling from just the edge of the centre circle inside the Ukraine half and showing great composure to fire that ball in with the outside of his right boot. It was a brilliant goal and will be remembered forever. But then, inside the 2 minutes of the restart, we saw a goal scored by Dovbyk. The ball flashed across the Irish goal. Caoimhín Kelleher couldn't do too much about it. At the far post, Dovbyk was there with a handy tap in from the cross across the face of goal. Ireland caught a little bit on the hop at the start of that second half, but deserving of the point, it must be said this evening. Ireland now climbing, or I should say staying in third place, with Scotland up to second after that win against Armenia on 4 points, Ireland on 3, Ukraine up on top on 7 points. It's finished here tonight, Joe. Ukraine 1, Ireland 1.
Thanks, Stephen Doyle. Alongside Vinny Perth, we'll grab a word with Vinny in just a moment. So very, very acceptable performance by Ireland this evening. They've got better as this week has gone on. I mean, suddenly you feel if they were playing Armenia in the next game, they wouldn't slip up. So they've certainly grown into this particular window. And as Stephen said, they're on 4 points after 4 games, third in the group. Ukraine top after 3 games and 7 points. Scotland on 6 points after 3 games. Ireland have an extra game played against Armenia. Both played 4 games. So it's Ireland on 4 points and Armenia 3. But very, very credible 1-1 draw away to Ukraine. I should mention as well, just before we go to an ad break, a couple of months out from a World Cup, England 0, Hungary 4 will not go down well at Wembley. So words like shambolic being used in the English media reporting on this game. Haven't seen it, obviously, been watching the game in Poland. But England 0, Hungary 4. There could be an interesting fallout to that result. In the same group, it's about to go Germany 5, Italy 1. So big win for Germany as well against Italy, 5-1 winners. Elsewhere in League A, we have the Netherlands 3-2 winners against Wales, and Belgium 1-0 winners against Poland, both full times. A short break, final thoughts from Vinny Perth in just a second.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky, all the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
DoneDeal has the largest range of new electric vehicles in Ireland from Ireland's trusted premium car dealerships. That's why you will find Spirit Jaguar on DoneDeal. Stop by Spirit Jaguar showroom on DoneDeal today and connect with them for great 222 offers on electric vehicles. DoneDeal, for new electric vehicle offers to feel great about from all of Ireland's trusted car dealerships.
At News Talk, we talk to almost 800,000 people every week. All kinds of people. In the mornings, on the school run, at work and on the way home. We talk to them at lunchtimes, weekends, before they go shopping or head out for the evening. And we talk to them wherever they're listening, on radio, mobile, desktop and smart speakers. But right now, of all the people we talk to, we're talking to you, businesses. Because if you want to talk to your customers, all you need to do is talk to us. To find out how we can make radio advertising work for your business, contact us at newstalk.com/advertising. Newstalk. We let people know your business. Part of the Bauer Media Network of stations.
Right now, you can get Sky TV and broadband with Netflix at no extra cost. All for €55 a month for 12 months. Yep, Netflix is on us. With Sky, you get the best entertainment all in one place. So get Sky TV and broadband with Netflix at no extra cost, all for €55 a month. And there's no setup fees. What are you waiting for? Search Sky 55. Availability subject to location. New Sky customers only. Minimum term and further terms apply. For more information, see sky.ie/speeds.
The Pandora Summer Sale is now on. Don't miss out on up to 50% off a selection of sparkling designs. Looking for the perfect gift? Or just an excuse to treat yourself? Then hurry, these prices won't be around for long. Available in stores while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply.
A beautiful bouquet of flowers. It can say more than words ever could. To celebrate, congratulate, or just let someone know you're thinking of them. At flowers.ie, we know every bouquet is special. So every order we receive is hand-picked, arranged with care, and delivered with love across Ireland. We even send a video before it's delivered, so you know it's just right. Say it with flowers at www.flowers.ie. Rated 5 stars on Trustpilot.
Guaranteed Irish business members continue to sustain jobs and communities across Ireland.
Pipelife Eco, Ireland's leading designer and supplier of thousands of renewable heating solutions. Established in 1970, Pipelife Eco is your one-stop shop for complete renewable heating solutions. From market-leading products, free initial advice, through to